What's up, Tru Heel Heat?
Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Heel Heat podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the host of your 8th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. His name is SP3.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Calm down. Calm down, folks. Calm down, folks. Calm down, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Another year in the books, 2024. 8th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. This is my 8th time hosting this prestigious award show. I want to thank the Academy, the Tru Heel Heat Academy, for allowing me to host. Wait, I have a call. Oh, I'm not winning any awards? Oh, I'm just here to host the show and cut to the intro. So do I actually have to cut to the intro, or should I just keep talking? Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. for Tru Heel Heat 309 with our 2024 year-end awards. And to reveal the winners of our prestigious 2024 year-end awards, our 8th annual award show here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, we have my boy, the True Draw himself. He is having his Jordan flu game on today's flagship podcast. Josh, how are you doing?
Could be worse. So, can't complain about that. Yeah, I mean, 2024 was a crazy year. A lot of drama, a lot of great matches. In my opinion, probably a lot of all-time great matches in this year too. It was a crazy year for wrestling to think about it. Like, man. So I look forward to seeing what everyone voted for. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of awards that I'm not going to agree with. So I look forward to trashing it.
As always. But yes, it is that time of the year where it's our Tru Heel Heat year-end awards. We switched it up last year where we didn't have it on the last flagship podcast of 2023. Instead, we had it on the first flagship of 2024. This year, we're going back to the tradition, final flagship podcast of the year. We got our 2024 year-end awards. We've had polls on our Patreon, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, as well as here on our community tab, as well as a form that went out to everyone. We also shared that on the community tab, as well as on Twitter. So the voting was up to you. This is not based on us. We do our top 10 list. Our top 10 list of the year, which are going to be dropping. We already dropped our men's wrestler of the year list that dropped on Christmas Day, but we got more coming out. We got our women's wrestler of the year top 10 list, worst matches of the year top 10 list, best matches of the year top 10 list, best major shows top 10 list. So that is by us, the team here in Tru Heel Heat, as well as some people from the community and our extended family. The Tru Heel Heat year-end awards is voted on by all of you. So we appreciate y'all for joining us another year and being a part of our year-end awards. But of course, this is the flagship podcast, so we're not only going to do the year-end awards, we're going to be discussing the latest wrestling news, including Cody Rhodes reportedly being set to face John Cena at WrestleMania 41. Recap of this week in wrestling with AEW Dynamite on 34th Street with the final league matches in the Continental Classic. Christmas Collision from the Hammerstein Ballroom featuring Ricochet versus Ospreay in the C2. The final Rampage with the New Year Smash special, ROH TV, WWE SmackDown Raw, NXT, NJPW Road to Tokyo Dome, best and worst, as well as matches of the week, and final predictions for not just tonight's AEW Worlds End, but like I said, this is a final flagship podcast of the year, Josh. This is a final flagship podcast of the year, audience. So we got to give you final predictions for the first big shows of 2025, which is Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. So we'll be closing the show with that, plus much, much more. So we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. I know we said it last week, but thank you so much for helping us hit our goal of 20,000 subscribers for 2024. And I said I would reveal the goal for 2025. Just make it simple. We're just trying to go 10 up. We're trying to go 10 up. So 30K for 2025. We'll adjust if we're moving in a even more faster progression. But I think 10 up is a safe way to go. Is a modest goal. It's our soft goal for 2025. 30K for 2025, but we appreciate y'all for helping us hit our goal for 2024. And of course, sound off in the live chat if you're with us live. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on the year that was 2024, as well as this week in pro wrestling. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel and help us close out 2024 on the right kick, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. So we always appreciate the support. We got already in the chat with us today. We got Eric Isaacs. I see. He says, hello, THH fam. Happy World's End and wishing all of you a great and prosperous new year to you and yours. We also got Power Driver Finisher joining us. Thank you, Power Driver Finisher. Baser, I haven't busted out in like a year and a half. It's feeling kind of tight. I've gotten kind of fat, so I'm not afraid to admit that. We got Kobe Mr. Bonda joining us, another one of our members. You can show your support by hitting the join button and becoming a member for just $1 a month. It gets you in-chat perks and exclusive content. Like I Make Beats, who's also a member, who says, we're live, pal. We got Power Driver Finisher, who says, Cat Williams started us off well with the year of hate. A lot of people got exposed, and Cat Williams warned us.
Some of the biggest names, too. Some of the biggest names got exposed. It wasn't like minor. Like, man, you talking about Aubrey Graham. Who else? Sean Combs, P. Diddy. Like, some big, powerful names in the industry that got taken down for their own actions. But, hey, they did it to themselves.
Got exposed. Bloody Money, who says, hey, Tru Heel Heat, the last two wrestling event in 2024, we got Stardom Queendom and AEW Worlds End. Yes, Stardom Queendom is tomorrow morning. Their last big show of the year is going to be Tam Nakano going one-on-one with Saya Kamitani for the World of Stardom Championship. So I'm looking forward to see who comes out with the title. I think Saya might take that for our Stardom fans. I think Saya is going to win the title finally. We got I Make Beats. Thank you so much for starting us off strong with a super sticker. Thank you so much, I Make Beats, who's been one of our big supporters of the year. Patrick Bell questioning you, saying all-time great? Question mark.
Well, there's a few. I'm not saying we got the all-time great match, but I think there's a few that you could, when you really break it down for its category or for its company, it's an all-time great match. Spoiler, one match that I'm talking about is Danielson versus Ospreay. I think that's an all-time great match. This is my opinion on it. Hell in the Cell. That's an all-time great match for Hell in the Cell, right? I don't think none of us could really argue that. Cody versus Roman. That was like one of the all-time great matches in WrestleMania. So we had a good year. Like, again, minus all the noise, minus all the shit that fans try to drag and all this stuff. Wrestling wise, we definitely got good matches from all around. It wasn't just one company. We got it from multiple companies.
I Make Beats saying thanks for a great year. The goats of YouTube, THH. Thank you so much, I Make Beats. You've been so kind to us with your words and with your support since coming on board of being a part of our community. We also got Power Driver Finisher. I thought you was talking about us, but we also got I Mean Beats. It says I dead ass forgot the Ospreay Danielson match when voting FML. I did do that, but I did that with worst match of the year, and I forgot to pick Nia and Liv as one of my worst matches of the year when we did the top 10.
I mean, it was so bad you forgot. It's understandable.
Yeah, I tried to erase it from my memory. I legit did. I'm not gonna front. That's what I tried to do, but did not work. Unfortunately, it did not work. But True, we got to start things off, unfortunately, on a sad note, as we did lose someone in the wrestling community. Rest in peace to former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jax Dane, Jeremy Lanmon, who passed away this week. He was only 48 years old. I remember him mostly from his work in NWA. He was NWA World Heavyweight Champion in the time period before before kind of Nick Aldis became their top guy. So he mixed it up with a lot of like their older names that were kind of like the stalwarts and kind of like the veterans when NWA Power started off. But he would make appearances on occasion over there. He's been a part of NWA, I think, just last year. So very sad loss of Jack Stane this week. So our thoughts and condolences, our prayers to the family of Jack Stane and any of the fans of NWA or Jack Stane, thoughts and prayers to you as well.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, yeah, just wanted to bring some points about Jax. He was well known, and like within the wrestling, like you're talking about the workers, like he was well known. Like when I was seeing the pictures and the pouring of support and seeing the pictures, I was like, sometimes I get surprised when I'm like, oh shit, this person knows that person. But then I'm like, I always got to remind myself, I'm like, it is the wrestling industry. There are people that are very close with each other. So, I mean, that was, unfortunately, the passing did come in a shock, but I thought it was like pretty cool. Like you see a lot of big names, like a lot of people I didn't expect, like, showing their condolences and sharing pictures with him.
Yeah, it's sad whenever we lose any wrestler, especially when they're that young, only 48 years old. Like that makes you kind of think about your own mortality. So yeah, it's a tough one to swallow. So thoughts and prayers to the family, friends, and fans of Jack Stane. We got to start off things on a happier note, shouting out all of you who's supporting us across social media and here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel with our Tru Heel roll call. Our top 3 conversation starters over on our Tru Heels group page on Facebook, our Tru Heel Trinity. You got Jermaine Packman, you got Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and number 1 Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, you got Vala B, you got Alan Weinstein, Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John, aka Russell Scopes, Dan, Kobe, Dolores, John Martin, DJ Eric, Marcus Ryan, James, Allen, and Santos. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. Another way for you to support the channel, just $3 a month gets you exclusive content. We always shout you out on every edition of the flagship podcast, and you get all the extra perks that we try to provide for everyone backing us over at Patreon and help the channel keep moving forward. And another reason that we are able to help the channel keep moving forward is with those super chat donations. So thank you so much to Chuck Berries sending us a super chat donation which says, is it not crazy that Mercedes can have one of the best matches of the year and one of the worst in the same year? So all I will say is, for your spoiler alert, I think that everyone out of all our top 10s, I really enjoyed, me and Josh doing the men's wrestler of the year. I really enjoyed Krssi and me doing the women's wrestler of the year. And I really enjoyed, doing stuff with Jimmy for end of year stuff. But I think the one that people need to watch, because it's an education on why certain matches are in our top 10, is the worst match of the year list with me and Jimmy. Where Jimmy, I just asked Jimmy, like, what's his criteria? And it perfectly kind of like described 8 of the matches in the top 10 when he gave his criteria. Because it does, I feel like Mercedes, and I talked about it on the worst match of the year. I feel like Mercedes and Britt, if it happens at like Double or Nothing or Forbidden Door, it's probably not as big of a deal as it is at All In. And it's the fact that it's the consequence of that matchup that makes it one of the worst matches of the year, because it completely killed Britt for the rest of 2024. But Mercedes also, you might hear her on our Tru Heel Heat year-end awards as well. So for a good thing. So yeah, it is crazy that Mercedes is on both sides of the spectrum in this one year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that surprised, because like with Mercedes style, it could go either like really good or really bad, and it's always depending on the person that she works with. But then also there are times where with herself, she kind of like takes her time. She kind of moves pretty slow. So I mean, I think part of it, I'm not surprised, but then I'm like, she was putting some great matches, especially like every time there's something paired up with like Stardom. it seems like we get the best from her every time that happens. You know, but then, you know, in AEW, like, I think she started to show out too, like towards the end of the year. So, you know, hopefully leading into 2025, we're seeing what makes her great and what a lot of fans love about her. Well, I mean, you know, the fans that still love her.
Yeah, there's still some fans that still love Mercedes, and I know she has her loyal fans that are going to be sticking with her. But she was able to kind of rebound her reputation, because her reputation was damaged by the match at All In. So
Yeah,
I feel like she was able to redeem herself by the end of the year, but Britt was not. So
yeah. I think part of it too is Britt. You know, because of the news that came out, it made Britt very unlikable. So I think that's part of it too. Like, say it, if Mercedes has like a bad match, right, with like Willow. So for that example, even though the two ladies did have a fantastic match at Double or Nothing, I thought that match was great. Say like if that match was bad at All In, right? Say if they had a match and it was terrible, then you people are probably gonna blame Mercedes completely, because they're like, wait a minute, we seen better from Willow. It was Mercedes. She fucked it up.
Yeah. But she was in there. She was in there at All In with someone as equally or even more unlikable than she is. So that's what made most people point at her, and that's why the Sheeta match came off so disappointing, because that was supposed to be her redemption. So it would, like I said, it wasn't until the last month with the Chris Statlander match and the Hazuki match in New Japan that she was able to recover her reputation.
Yeah, and she got the best match from Anna Jay. She got the best match out of her. So, you know, she had a good, she had, like, again, she had a strong way to finish the year. You know, regardless of people were being upset. Yeah, she's calling herself the greatest. Who gives a fuck? Like, she's confident. She's getting paid the big bucks. Like, who cares, right? It's like, that's what you're supposed to do in that moment, right? When they ask you that, what are you supposed to say? Oh no, I'm trash. I'm sorry. Like,
exactly. No? Like, what do you expect her to say? I really want to know from the people who didn't agree with that. That was ridiculous.
It's like, I was like, like, who gives a fuck? I was like, she's confident, and I love that about her. Like, to me, that fits her to the T. Like, if she's gonna be saying she's the greatest, let her say it. I like that, because I'm like, that's her character.
A lot of these fans just show that they are not they're not confident around a confident woman. Like, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Speaking of our confident woman on the show, the princess of all the true heels is here, Miss Krssi Love. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning. Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Good morning, guys. How are you? Sorry for my tardiness.
Hanukkah. You have to act like you're about to sneeze. Hanukkah.
What was the other thing from Seinfeld? What was the other thing? Festivus, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah, happy Festivus. Happy
dumb shit. The dumbest shit ever. Yeah,
we were shooting the shit because I wanted to wait for Krssi before we got to any of the awards. So Krssi, you came just in time, because we're gonna welcome everyone. You missed me. You missed my great intro. How did you like my intro, Josh? How was my intro to the show?
I kept laughing. I kept laughing.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Good thing I had the mic off, yo. I kept laughing.
Intro to the show, A+ stuff. But yes, we got our first awards that we got here for the Tru Heel Heat 2024 awards. You can sound off in the live chat with your thoughts and who you think should have won. But how we do the awards here is we go around and we find out who our panel here would have picked, or who was their pick for the awards, before we read out what you guys voted on. So we got, first up, this is Tru Heel Heat. So we're going to start off with Heel Turn of the Year, our newest award to the awards. we've cut down on a lot of awards that we've done in years past. We added a few, we took a few out. So it's a new revised awards that we have this year. And our first one is Heel Turn of the Year. So this goes for, the best turn that we saw, the best betrayal that we saw throughout the past 12 months, throughout the world of pro wrestling, not just WWE, AEW, but New Japan, TNA, CMLL, AAA. So sound off in the live chat with your pick for the 2024 Heel Turn of the Year. Krssi Love, what was the best heel turn of 2024 to you?
Honorable mention to the New Day, but I'm going to say Kevin Owens.
I like that. I like that pick. Josh.
Mariah May turning on Timeless Tony.
Ooh, it's a good one, Josh. I think that's the winner right there.
We got in the chat, I Make Beats, who says Mariah May. We got Power Driver Finisher, who says Hangman Adam Page. We did get a couple of votes for Hangman Adam Page. I can let you know that. I Make Beats says Sonata. Mr. Banda says Mariah May. Blood Money 47 says New Day heel turn. Patrick Bell says for real, Mariah May, that was fire. And we got I mean, yes, it can be defined as a heel turn, Hangman Adam Page, because it was a double turn.
Yeah, it was a double turn. Yeah, it was a double turn, and he just went off the rails after that.
Yeah. All right, so here's the results. Davion, good to see a new name in the chat. Thanks for joining us. He says Mariah May. But yes, let's talk about. Well, no, Power Driver Finisher. The whole Timeless act kind of turned babyface like in the spring. They kind of turn babyface, and they especially turn babyface when they do the threesome kiss at Forbidden Door. And then like 2 weeks after that, that's when Mariah May shocks you with it's a heel turn betrayal. It's a turn. It is defined as a heel turn. But let's read out the results here. So coming in third place, we have John Moxley and the Death Riders turning on Bryan Danielson from AEW All Out. Second place, we have the New Day turning on Big E, and our winner of the 2024 Tru Heel Heat heel turn of the year is
Mariah.
Mariah May.
Is that a award in her hand?
Yes, it is. The Torchies. The Torchies. There you go. Here's your Torchy. Mariah May, of course, turned on Timeless Tony Storm in July on AEW Dynamite, the July 10th edition of AEW Dynamite. After winning the Owen Hart Cup, it was revealed her whole plot the entire time was to get Timeless Tony Storm into a false sense of security and then stab her in the back. The bloody beatdown, one of the most memorable kind of betrayals that we've seen in AEW. And I said at the time, and I still think to this day, it's one of the best angles that I've ever seen from women's wrestling. Like, as far as like iconic heel turns in women's wrestling, I think that's going to be up there when we like look back on it years from now.
Yep. I agree. Great heel turn for the year. And then it was played out very well too. So we knew it was coming, but we just didn't know when it was going to happen. So, yes, it was teased to us. It's a good heel turn, yes. I'm surprised the New Day got up there, and they just happened like a week ago.
Hey! I mean,
you have to, yeah.
They had to. It had to.
I
totally understand.
For the year is now over. They just did it a week ago. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
But it's still a great one. It's great.
It happened a week ago. Okay, whatever. I don't make the rules.
Well, I mean, technically, it's still 2024.
Yeah, it happened in 2024. We didn't make a timestamp as the criteria. We just said 2024.
Apparently.
Yeah, this ain't PWI with their weird time frame.
Okay, guys.
At least we don't do like middle of the year. At least we go to the end of the year at the very least. Like, come on.
True. Okay, fine.
Just saying. But she's like, okay.
And they're in second place.
Yeah, in second place. Why are we complaining? Like, they got to second place. Power Driver Finisher says, yeah, it's Mariah May. Patrick Bell says, so shocking. I seen it coming without seeing it coming. Yeah. That's how
Yeah,
I feel.
it also made me feel very uncomfortable. Like when the heel turn was happening, it made me feel very uncomfortable because the way like Tony was, and like she was crying and then her head busted open. I was like, damn, like they did that. That's where they did a great job at too. Like but then also because we got that violent aspect, it's even what we said a couple of weeks ago. Like if the only thing that was missing with the New Day stuff was like the contact, but knowing the situation with Big E, he's not cleared. But that would have been like you're talking about it. You're talking about the mega heat they would have gotten, like even more so what they're getting now. That would have been crazy if they would have done something to him physically.
Next up, we got another new award, Best Individual Promo of the Year. So this is going to the best solo promo. So not the overarching kind of work that the person did on the mic throughout 2024, but an individual promo that stood out to you as being the best of the year. So some notable ones that people voted on. We had someone vote on Punk, Drew, and Seth. Who chose you? The whole three-way promo exchange they had in Chicago when Punk alluded to Drew, who chose you to be the chosen one, and Drew was kind of stumped on that one. Then we have Hangman burn Swerve's house. We got the New Day turning on Big E, and The Rock to Cody, you're welcome. So his promo to Mama Rhodes and Cody saying, what can I say except you're welcome? That had that final line. So those are the notable ones that were mentioned. But first place kind of got a few more votes than everybody else. So it had to be the best individual promo. So the Tru Heel Heat 2024 best individual promo goes to Drew McIntyre. I prayed for this, and then it happened. His original promo to CM Punk after injuring Punk in the Royal Rumble, telling him that he prayed for this to happen, and it did. And the big smile on his face, and it became a meme. It became a gift that we would see for months and months after, and it set the tone for what would be one of the best rivalries of 2024. So Drew McIntyre, well-deserving best individual promo of the year. Josh?
What's up?
What do you think? Do you disagree? Do you agree?
That's a good choice. I mean, I kind of had Hangman and burning the house, but Drew, talking his shit.
Drew deserves it.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Because it was the catalyst to what we ended up getting for their feud.
Mm-hmm.
We got here. I make beats. It's a Drew or Tony. Well, you had to put an individual promo. What promo from them? You not who's best on the mic, because we have a separate category for that. I make beats. But yes, yeah. I think the one with I prayed. I did not vote for I prayed for this, and it happened. But I understand it winning this award because of its importance for the rest of the year, especially. But next up, we do have best on the mic. So this is for the individual who had the best promo work throughout 2024 with their promo work on the mic and how it translated to their character work as well. So we got a couple of people who are notable here. We got Will Ospreay, who got a couple of votes. We got John Moxley, who got a couple of votes. But second place is the final boss, The Rock, coming in at second place.
Who was on third?
Second place.
I said I named a couple of people that got votes, but no one really. It was a two-horse race. One for The Rock got a couple of more votes than everybody else that I didn't mention or did mention, but first place was far and away. This is probably the biggest kind of margin of victory of anyone. I think it's 80% of the vote went to Drew McIntyre. Once again, the best on the mic for 2024. Drew McIntyre winning back-to-back awards here for the Tru Heel Heat year-end awards. And I believe Drew McIntyre is going to be the person who had the most awards from 2024 for our year-end awards, with 2 already back-to-back here. So best individual promo and best on the mic going to Drew McIntyre. Well deserved, Krssi.
Well deserved. He did the work this year. He was in it, so I think that he deserves it. I'm happy for him. Go, Drew.
I didn't tell you off. I said that you had to pick. You're picking who's best on the mic in best individual promo. Best individual promo is the individual promo that was the best, not who was the best on the mic. That's what I was just trying to help. Just trying to help, sir. But we got Bloody Money, who says, I wish it was Gabe Kidd when it comes to the mic. I mean, Gabe Kidd, I think that if more people watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, he would be up there because he is so good on the mic. I haven't interviewed him. I know for a reason. I know. We got Davion, who says, God bless Drew McIntyre. Indeed, I agree. Next, we got Best Tru Heel Wrestler of the Year. This is going to the best Tru Heel in professional wrestling this year. So this was another one that was really a 2-horse race. Like, this was mainly 2 people who were getting voted on. I think Swerve did get a nod, a vote. I think John Moxley did get a vote. MJF did get a vote. But these 2 were far and away the 2 that got the most votes. So coming in second place is Hangman Adam Page. And coming in first place, 3-time winner, Drew McIntyre.
Three in a row for him. 3 in a row.
3 in a row for Drew McIntyre. And the camera pans over to CM Punk, who is none too pleased that Drew McIntyre won all these awards on his back as he was injured. But man, Drew McIntyre, when I was tallying everything up last night, I was like, God damn, Drew. God damn. I'm surprised that more people didn't vote for him for Wrestler of the Year with how many awards that he was winning. He was winning all the other awards except for Wrestler of the Year.
What are you going to do? You can't. This is the work. He got heat. He did the work, and then the memes made it even worse.
Yeah.
Then he just went to go see
added...
Jack Perry.
Oh yeah, the Jack Perry one. That was good. Dion Jenkins saying Drew sweep. Yes, 3 in a row. 3 in a row for Drew McIntyre. No, call me Mr. Bonda. Will Ospreay is a babyface. I mean, you could say he's a favorite of Tru Heel Heat, but he can't be the heel of the year, the Tru Heel of the year. He's
been babyface ever since he got there, ever since he got to AEW.
Or no, I think he meant best on the mic. So if you did, I apologize.
Best on the. I mean, Ospreay's gotten better, but you know,
I think Ospreay took the biggest jump on the mic, but I think that Drew has been better. Drew deserved all these awards. I will give it to him. He had a great year. And finally, for this round of our awards, we'll have more awards to reveal as we go through this flagship podcast. But our final award is another new award this year, y'all. We have the best Tru Heel of our community, the best member, the best person in our chat, person who is supporting us on Patreon or here on the YouTube channel, sending in the super chats, being a part of the conversation in our live chat. We left it open to all of you to vote on the best Tru Heel member of the year. So a couple of y'all got some nods. We got Negro Buck Nick Jackson, who got a couple of votes. We got Vala B, who got a couple of votes. We got Power Driver Finisher even got a vote. I Make Beats got a vote. I see y'all in the chat, so I had to mention y'all. Third place was the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Number 2, second place, very close, was Chuck Berry's. And number 1, first place,
Chuck Berry's.
The 2024 Tru Heel member of the year is Will Chisholm. It's Will Chisholm. It's Will Chisholm. Thank
He's
you,
not
Will.
even here right now.
Where are you, Will? Show yourself. Show yourself, Will, and accept your award.
Wait, he's not here, man. We're changing the winner.
So it was I Make Beats. It was Vala, and who else?
They got votes. Third place was Negro Buck. Second place was Chuck Berry's. First place was Will Chisholm.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes. So congratulations to Will Chisholm. Will Chisholm, he supported us so much throughout 2024. So I think it is for good reason that Will Chisholm won our community's Member of the Year award. So that will be something that we continue doing year after year. Why not? And yeah, Chuck Berry's, man, you came close, Chuck Berry's. I think you got him next year. I'm calling it now.
Chuck Berry's.
I think you might catch it. You was catching them. I was getting a lot of the last couple of tallies, and you was catching up. So I wouldn't don't knock yourself, brother. Don't knock yourself, because you was close. It was a
look,
close
he's
race.
here. Look, he's finally in there.
So now he
There he
shows up.
is. There he is. He says, "I'm
Yeah,
so
he
proud of my
does.
stuff."
Yeah, he does show up.
Love you guys.
Yeah, he does show up.
But congrats to everyone that does, thank you again. We appreciate you all for supporting us, and you don't have to watch us, but you do. And we love you. Thanks.
Showing up at the boogeyman.
Will Chisholm, you gotta leave a speech in the live chat. That's what I Make Beats. I Make Beats says speech. So you got to leave a speech for us in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts. But yeah, I thought that would be a fun thing to kind of add to our year-end awards, because our community has been so great throughout 2024, like helping us hit our goals. The super chat donations you guys support are able to, help out the contributors that you see on screen with us here. So we always appreciate that as well. So yeah, I think that it was appropriate to do this award. What do y'all think?
I love that you did that, SP. Great job. That's why you're the boss.
Well, I try. Thank you. But yes, well, we got to get into what we missed, but of course, sound off in the live chat your thoughts on any of the awards that we read out so far. We got Power Driver Finisher, who says, "I think you got him next year." Talking to, I think, I Make Beats. So he says, "Thank you for my vote. I didn't vote for myself. I promise." We got Chuck Berry, who says, like Jimmy Cole did Stone Cold versus The Rock. Yeah, it was we called it. Me and Jimmy, when y'all two were battling on AE Ramble earlier this year with super chat donations, we was like, it's Austin and Rock of the community.
Of the
it's
super
Chuck
chat?
Berry's. Yep, Chuck Berry's and the Super
Will
Chisholm. The Super Chisholm. That's what we were calling it. We got Will Chisholm, who says, I prayed for this. And it happened. See what you did there. Very well done. Very well done, sir. But yes. I'm happy for all of y'all. Happy that y'all can be a part of our Tru Heel Heat year-end awards like this. But we got to get into what we missed, and what we missed was WWE SmackDown. We're gonna start in WWE this week, y'all, because you had WWE SmackDown, which was the first kind of proper SmackDown since Saturday night's main event, because last week's SmackDown was taped before Saturday night's main event, so they didn't follow up on anything. They just did video packages the whole night, and
terrible show. Yeah, I'm just letting you know that right now.
We did complain about how terrible the show was last week.
Okay, to be fair, because I'm like, and this is gonna be 3 hours next week. God help us all.
Yo, was it just me, or did Cole sound like he was upset that it was going to be 3 hours?
Yes.
But every time he said it, he's like, we're going to 3 hours next week.
He's like, I gotta sit here and do this shit for 3 hours. I'm like, let me go to Raw.
I need to switch the announce teams next week, because you can't have Michael Cole do 3 hours on Friday and then turn around and do the first Netflix show.
Watch him.
Watch me, like it's Liv Morgan. Watch me. But you had WWE SmackDown. The show featured Nick Aldis giving an ultimatum to Kevin Owens over the WWE Winged Eagle Championship, or if he doesn't give it up, he would be fired. KO instead, he tried to politic himself into an undisputed WWE Championship matchup against Cody Rhodes. Cody then returned to cut a fired up babyface promo that he fights for the fans, his family, for Michael Cole, for Randy Orton, and so he wants to fight Owens in a ladder match. All this made it official for the Royal Rumble on in February, but
That's
then
nuts. Because
then
that's like a whole month away. That's so stupid, but whatever.
Then KO pushed all this into Cody. He attacked the injured neck of Cody, stomping down on it, and then walked out with the Winged Eagle title. So both titles will hang above the ring coming up at the Royal Rumble. The opening saw Bianca Belair bury the hatchet with Bayley ahead of their trios matchup against Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Tiffany Stratton. The babyfaces won with Naomi getting the pinfall to set up Naomi challenging Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship next week. Chelsea Green had her United States Championship celebration that was interrupted by Meacham, who came with a kendo stick to lay out Piper Niven and then run off Chelsea Green. Pretty Deadly. We're accusing Los Garza, accusing innocent Hispanics. Man, what a stereotype. But Pretty Deadly accused Los Garza of attacking Street Profits a couple of weeks ago. This led to the Profits beating Berto and Angel in tag team action. Post-match, DIY made a soft alliance with Pretty Deadly, while Apollo Crews let the Profits know that they got played because it was DIY who attacked them, not Los Garza. You also had Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, he picked up a victory over Austin Theory after last week's Grayson Waller effect, while Sami Zayn appeared to get his hands on the bloodline, but Carmelo Hayes disrespected him, setting up a matchup. The bout went to a no contest after Braun Strowman went after Melo, while the bloodline jumped Sami Zayn. Braun tried to help Zayn, but the bloodline beat down both men, standing tall to close the segment. So this was another kind of like paint by the numbers episode of SmackDown. It feels like the last 3 weeks of SmackDown have been very paint by the numbers, not a lot of creativity being shown off here because they're gearing up for Netflix.
They better get it together. That's all I'm saying. For the 3 hours, it's because that last hour is definitely going to be crickets.
Well,
you're gonna see a downshift.
I think the reason that they gave 2 segments to the Street Profits and Los Garza last night was to prepare people that you're gonna see a lot of long tag team matches with teams that aren't over at first on SmackDown over the next couple of weeks. Exciting, right?
Very.
3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. I have to review this goddamn show when I go back to the UK. I ain't going to sleep till 5.
Well, fuck SmackDown.
Jesus Christ. Because you know they're going to try on Raw. I don't know if they're going to try on SmackDown. So I don't see the need to go 3 hours.
3 hours, yes. But SmackDown has always been a 2-hour show. That's the whole thing. So it's like, why push it?
And on a Friday?
And on a Friday. The summertime is shit show. It's over.
Yeah. I was not feeling this episode of SmackDown too much. It didn't annoy me like some other stuff that I saw this week, but like it was just like a nothing burger. It was a nothing burger. It was just stuff happened. Sami Zayn and Carmelo, they're having a pretty decent matchup. Goes to a no contest. It's like anything that you would get invested in. They let the women's trios matchup go like 3 segments, all for it to end in another Tiffany Stratton cash-in tease. See, you know what? This is a perfect segue in. I'm gonna test y'all. What's the 3 worst book things that you saw this year in pro wrestling? I got my 3 right off the top of the dome. Number 1, the Elite Takeover storyline. Because that shit could have been avoided. You just do the story. They take over the company and then you take it away. You literally didn't do 101 of a fucking takeover storyline is for the heels to fucking take over. So that's the one that annoys me the most because that shit is the simplest fix of any storyline in pro wrestling this year.
So
number two for me, in general, from January to December, is Triple H's booking of the women's division. Oh my God. Like when you really think I don't think a lot of us have really thought about the past 12 months how Triple H has booked this goddamn women's division.
He's booked the same 5 ladies.
No. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you, Krssi, because it's not that simple. It's a lot of different issues, and it comes down to incompetence and not being creative when your job is head of creative. But they literally spent most of 2023 building up one woman, Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley. They built the whole company around her. It kind of like negated some people, but it made Rhea Ripley. It made Rhea Ripley a bigger star than everybody else. And it's not even the Becky Lynch effect. It's something even greater than the Becky Lynch effect, because at least when they put over Becky and Becky was the number 1 star in the company, you still had your Charlottes who were not that far from her. You still had Sasha Banks, who's not that far from her. You still had Asuka, who's not that far from her. And she put over on her way to winning at WrestleMania. So you still had Ronda at that time. Like you had a whole bunch of ladies who are not that far behind Becky Lynch. They literally put a fucking ocean between everybody else and Rhea Ripley in 2023. And then we come into this year where they booked the first half of the year really behind Rhea Ripley. They doing the whole angle with Bayley and Damage Control, and that got a little bit of attention early portion of the year. But as we got closer to WrestleMania, they laid the fuck off of that. Didn't put Bayley on the advertisements for WrestleMania. And you would think, okay, so in a perfect world, if Rhea doesn't get injured, they're going to book the rest of the year like they did last year. And it's going to be booked behind one lady, Rhea Ripley. But no, Rhea gets hurt. So then I can only imagine. I can imagine the WWE creative room, guys, Josh, Krssi, and it's Triple H. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And everyone's going around the room like, hey, we just put over Bayley. Bayley just became the WWE Women's Champion on SmackDown. How about we put some focus on her? And then someone else was like, oh, hey, how about we book behind a young new star from NXT? And then the third person was like, hey, how about we just wait for Rhea Ripley to get back? And he was like, that one. That one. Let's just wait. Let's just wait for. They chose to wait for Rhea Ripley. They was like, okay, Liv injured Rhea, so we're gonna do Liv and Rhea when Rhea gets back. But what do we do until Rhea gets back? I'll just call Becky Lynch to come back and put over Liv, and then wait for Rhea to come back. And that's all they did for 3 fucking months. The whole Raw Women's Division went into a standstill. And you would think with waiting for Rhea on Raw that they would just do what the first idea was put more focus on Bayley. No, they did the exact opposite, because the fourth guy was like, oh, no, how about we do that one, wait for Rhea on Raw, and then completely ignore Bayley on SmackDown. And Triple H was like, that one? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one right there. And then with Nia Jax was like, they make the decision, Nia's going to win the Queen of the Ring. Nia's then going to beat Bayley on SmackDown. And then they say, hey, we're going to put more focus on Nia Jax as the women's champion on SmackDown. It seems like great ideas. You know what they also said? Let's stop doing the thing what we were doing with Nia Jax in the beginning of the year, where we would hide her weaknesses and, enhance her strengths. Let's let her try shit that she never did before. Let's let her try a Hurricane Rana, a fucking against Bayley at Bad Blood. Let's have her go 45 minutes in a women's War Games matchup. let's have monster heel Nia Jax go against also heel Liv Morgan at Crown. They literally did everything to make Nia Jax not look as good as she looked the first 6 months of the year. The last 6 months of the year, they did everything in their power to put a big ass spotlight on the weaknesses of Nia Jax. And you know what they said? You know what they said after that? Hey, we're gonna make you into Jeff Jarrett in TNA 2003, and we're gonna book every fucking match you do the goddamn same. That was WWE's women's division in 2024.
I got nothing. Because you're right.
And then third on my list would probably be I mean, the worst booking decision probably is like airing that CM Punk footage, but that's probably more part of the Elite storyline. But yeah, that's up there. Yeah. That was a bad decision. And the Judgment Day Vortex. So it's a tie. It's Tony Khan's decision to play the CM Punk footage, and it's the Judgment Day Vortex because this fucking stable is worthless. It's fucking worthless.
Now, yes.
Now, you don't. Yeah. But that's the thing. No. It's never been worth a damn. It's never been. We were just fooled to think that it was worth a damn because they used it as a vehicle to finally get Rhea Ripley back. But really think about it, Krssi Love. Really think about this. What's the thing that really got Rhea Ripley to the level that she's at? It's Dominic Mysterio turning on Rey and aligning with Rhea. Do you now think about this? Do you really need Judgment Day to do the same angle and get Rhea Ripley to the same level? You don't. So therefore, it's worthless. It's worthless. It's worthless.
It was only Dom was the main factor. If it wasn't for Dom, this whole like trajectory thing probably wouldn't like. Yeah, he got so much heat. The team, it's it's true because no one was looking for them or talking about them before Dom and Rhea got with them.
Yeah.
Because you had Damian there, but like once Finn was Finn. And I love me some Finn, but come on, let's just be honest at this point in the game.
I've been honest about Finn. I've been honest about
Finn.
You
know what? Okay, I'm not gonna do this with you guys today. I'm not doing this today.
Not today, Jesus. Not today. But yeah, those are my
Jesus'
three.
Birthday.
So yeah, Krssi, what's your three worst things in wrestling this year? We're excluding Vince McMahon. We're excluding anything Vince McMahon.
The booking of the women division on both AEW and on WWE.
No, you got to be specific with AEW. AEW is the booking of the women's division after All In.
Okay, fine, because they did.
They were great. We were literally up here for months saying how much better AEW's women's division is better than.
You're
WWE.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yes. After All In and after I guess the horrible match between Britt and Mercedes, it just fizzled out and died. So those are two. And three. I hate that SmackDown is going to be 3 hours. Terrible. Throw it in the garbage.
To get announced here. Starts in 2025, so you can save it to 2025.
Okay.
Josh.
My top three worst decisions in wrestling.
No.
I think easy for me. Number one is Punk. I mean the Punk footage.
The Punk footage, yes. We never needed to see that.
That just didn't do any favors for AEW.
Nope.
And a lot of Punk fans who love smelling his farts. They felt like they were vindicated of the footage. Even though I have my thoughts on it, but that's another story for another day. The second one, I would say Triple H's booking of the women's. Because we've been saying it for months, and this is why I've always I harbor back to they really need somebody like Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch covers a lot of ground, and then even though they've done they present Rhea as like a top tier star, like presentation wise. How many times have we got to see Rhea versus Liv? I'm over it at this point. I think Liv sucks in the ring. I don't want to keep seeing it. Right? And then number three. Number three. I can't use the WrestleMania thing because it ended up being a great thing. So it's kind of one of those things where I was like, yeah, trying to shoehorn The Rock was a terrible decision, but they didn't go through with it. So I can't really use that because they changed it last minute. So if they didn't change it, then I think that would have been an all-time bad decision because people would just wouldn't have been behind it. Number three, damn. I kind of want to say the direction with the Death Riders because we're at this point where I'm just like, okay, what's up? What am I getting? And I'm still kind of waiting. Like, you know, they kind of what they did in Rampage last night was kind of like that's what I was hoping for. They would have been fucking doing every week, and we just haven't gotten that. I would say the Duff Riders, like, you know, the turn was great. Like the whole segment with Danielson, how they turn on Danielson was great. But then when you're telling me that you're taking over the company, it seems like they have a problem with taking over companies. Like, what's up with this?
Yeah,
right?
it seems like they should stop. That would probably be like if I had to make an all-encompassing one for AEW, I'm just gonna ask them, pleading with them, stop doing soul of AEW storylines. How many times this year did we have the company's biggest babyface be the company? Like, we got to save the company or the company is horrible. And how many times did they tell the viewers that the company is not doing well this year?
Too many.
Like, it's too many times. It's too many times. And RPGs, I feel like yours is similar to Josh saying what he was going to say with Rock and Cody. He says the worst thing for me was NJPW not building stars, knowing Okada and Ospreay were leaving, but they eventually did. If they didn't, then I agree. It's one of the worst things of the year. But they eventually did, and they're in a better space where the card for Wrestle Kingdom coming up on January 4th is one of the most balanced in years. They eventually did build a couple of new stars and are in the process of building new stars. So I can't even put that in consideration for me.
Yeah, and they did it within the year too. So, like, you know, that's good for them because losing Ospreay and Okada, that's kind of like a 2-3 year rebuild, like on paper, but they were able to do it within the year. You know, we're not saying that, hey, you know, like these guys who stepped up and the guys that they've, you know, want to build up, we're not saying they're on the same level as Okada and Ospreay. I mean, that's you're talking about a hard hill to climb when it comes to that, but they've been presentable and their shows have gotten better. Like, it's been like that for a while for me because, like, even the G1 was actually pretty fun to watch this year, and I was like, oh, thank God, it was fun.
We got Frantic World who says the Undisputed Kingdom stuff was bad. Number one for him. Number two, the Death Riders takeover was not good, and number three, the booking of ROH this year was so ass. ROH is basically WWE ECW at this point. It's basically that bad. It's gotten to that level of it just feels like it's a soulless show like WWE CW was. But RP Jesus says eventually, but not ahead of time when they had time to plan ahead. No, they didn't. They literally get informed by Okada that he's leaving at the same time we did. So no, they did not know ahead of time Okada's leaving. They knew ahead of time.
Okada won't.
But Okada, that's not true.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from because the moment that New Japan like posted like when he was leaving, that's when everybody found out. And they legit did say like he informed us like a few minutes ago, like within like the statement. So I mean, Ospreay they kind of knew already. You could say with Ospreay, yeah, because Ospreay got his contract at AEW a year prior, but that was already like in the cards. Like they you know they let him talk. You know, they let him negotiate with AEW. So, you know, that you could use. But Okada came as a surprise because nobody saw it coming. We just assumed, Okada's going to resign. You know, he's a company guy. But then once he hit free agency, it was just like, oh shit, we're
You can say they had an indication when he hires Barry Bloom, but they didn't
that's about
know
it.
He was leaving New Japan. They did not.
Yeah, and I think the hiring happened after. I could be wrong, but they did mention that he did pick up an agent that was within that time frame. So it was like they knew. I mean, they didn't know. It happened so sudden. And when Okada said he wasn't going to stay in Japan, he was out. So
keep coming in the chat with your 3 worst things in wrestling, and we will read them out. We do have another super chat donation here. We got one from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much once again, Chuck Berries. He says Bianca looked at Bayley like, yeah, you and me are cool, because when it comes to heels, it takes one to know one. Wink, wink. I mean, I was just expecting, once they did that segment before the matchup, I was expecting the finish to be like Bayley hits Bianca by accident and then they lose to give them some type of heat with each other again. I didn't expect them to just win. I was like, oh, okay, so I guess that's the end of Bianca not having an issue with Bayley. It kind of seemed anticlimactic, but okay.
Great job. Great job.
Then we got another super chat donation from Call Me Mr. Banda. Thank you so much, Call Me Mr. Banda. And he says, all 3 of mine or Joe Hendry being a mediocre bum. One of mine is TNA not putting the title on Joe Hendry. It's not my top 3, but it's in my top 10.
Yeah, the reason why it's not even on my top 3 because TNA is going to TNA. So it's kind of like, why is everybody disappointed when TNA is just going to disappoint everybody?
Like, you should expect this from them. Don't expect anything else. But we got to get into some news from WWE. Our top news story this week is about WrestleMania 41. PW Insider reports that WWE is planning a major match for John Cena at WrestleMania 41, which will be his final WrestleMania as an active wrestler. According to the report, a match between John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship is being talked about backstage. However, it was noted that things are subject to change, particularly if The Rock comes down from what the source described as quote-unquote Mountain Rock. If Rock wants to work with Cody or Cena, then plans will change to what he wants. Wrestling Observer Newsletter also notes that Logan Paul was politicking and pitching to get a match with John Cena at WrestleMania 41, but WWE is quote-unquote 100% not doing that one. So Cena versus Cody. I will ask you, Josh, as our Cody Rhodes aficionado or Cody Rhodes fan, is Cena the match that gets Cody night 2 of WrestleMania with no Rock over Roman versus Punk?
You see, I told you, man. I said this last week that it was going to happen. And everyone laughed, including myself. I laughed at myself for saying it. And it looks like it's happening. I got my sources. Made it up, bro.
Who's the babyface?
I made it up. Oh, I mean, would it be? You know what it is with John Cena? It could be the night 2 main event. Like if they build it up properly, right? They want this big, huge send off, right? At the same time, what kind of worries me is that the version of John Cena we've gotten hasn't been very good as of late. So it's kind of like, I get the send off, I get the kind of like send off of like, maybe this, he could get his last WrestleMania main event. It's kind of like similar to sports, right? When an athlete announces their retirement, it's going to be their last season, they get like a special all-star selection by like the committee. So, this kind of feels that way in a sense, but I don't know. I don't know if this is going to even main event night 2. Again, the version that we've gotten for John Cena hasn't been very good. And I love John Cena and I love the work that he's put in, but I mean, for example, look at that match with Austin Theory. That was his last WrestleMania match, and it didn't go very well. But again, you know, when you go in the ring with Cody Rhodes and you know what it means, I think that could motivate him. I think he's gonna put in his best effort. That's what you hope. I just as of right now, I wouldn't say it's gonna main event night 2.
Yeah, I don't think that match is more interesting than Roman versus Punk.
It may be
Again,
open up the show.
honestly,
Close the show.
honestly, the only way you could put it again, like I was saying, you're gonna have to oversell the shit out of it for anybody to like, you know, to get like to be invested in. In which we kind of know WWE, they you know like they're pretty good at that because of the presentation and all that stuff. But I just don't think this is the matchup. But you know, again, it wouldn't surprise me that if they're going to end up doing it because you know they're giving a bone to John Cena, who you know rightfully deserves it. Yeah, you know, because he's retiring, right?
I'll ask you, Krssi Love. I'll ask you, Krssi Love. Do you have any indication inside of you that makes you believe that John Cena could beat Cody Rhodes at a WrestleMania? Because that's what I think is the big issue. I don't have any doubt. I have no doubt, Josh, that WWE is going to talk this up and promote this as a big matchup. But the key to this not working is that there's nothing inside of me that has any belief that John Cena will beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. That's why Cena versus Gunther is a better option if you want to do the John Cena goes for number 17, because that one I can believe Cena's going to win. I cannot believe he's going to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
I don't even want him to beat Gunther in that one, but if we got to take one, I guess so.
Nah, fuck it. He could beat Gunther. Like, you know, number 17 past Ric Flair. Fuck Ric Flair. So I think that's fine.
Call me Mr. Vonda says Cody better win no matter what. I'm honestly so sick and tired of the nostalgia runs in the main event picture and wrestling.
I'm just like, honestly, I was surprised when I heard the announcement because I was like, yo, last week I was just fucking around. I didn't know it was going to be a real idea unless they did watch the podcast.
It's so sad. Like, why do we need it? Like, it does. I don't know.
It kind of. Honestly, it reeks of desperation to me.
Yeah, because it's like they don't have The Rock, and this is kind of what I said last week too, where I was like, this is kind of on WWE because, like, again, like we have certain guys who are just like on the levels by themselves, and we said it right. We were in agreement that it was Cody, Roman, and Punk, right? Like they're like basically number 1, 2, and 3, but they're a fucking tier by themselves. Then everybody else is kind of like there's nobody really that close. And that's part of the booking, is part of like the presentation, is part of like a lot of stuff. So now, even if you was to put somebody like right now, like the only 2 guys again that could main event a night 2 against Cody would be either CM Punk or it would be Roman Reigns. Nobody else is going to be in that spot. That's just, if it's not The Rock, and he's part-time. So I mean, you know, they don't have nobody else, you know, and you know, for a deep roster, I'm like, maybe it's a little bit different over there.
I don't know. It's an interesting matchup to add to the WrestleMania scene, because if you do that, I think that the Roman Punk matchup will definitely be for the World Championship. I've been saying it for weeks now. I think that Punk beats Seth at the Raw on Netflix. That makes him number 1 contender. He beats Gunther for the world title at Royal Rumble. You have Roman win the Royal Rumble, and then it's all up to WWE to figure out a way to have the Heyman favor equal Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania. Because you're gonna have to explain it in storyline of how Roman wins the Royal Rumble and then doesn't go after Cody and the title that he just lost. You're gonna have to explain it in a way that makes sense. I will leave that up to Paul Heyman. I will not try that much, so I'll let Paul Heyman figure that part out. But it's just the way how they're gonna make that part make sense, because it doesn't make sense in general just off like just reading it on a piece of paper. Roman loses the title he held for 1,300 days, finally gains a title shot and then doesn't go after the title he held for 1,300 days. That's not going to make a lot of sense.
And then he's going after the second place belt. So it's kind of like you got to do some convincing.
Second place
like,
belt.
it is Luigi Mario. Like that's the belt.
This WrestleMania might be tougher for Triple H to navigate than last year's because of no Rock. Rock became so important to the WrestleMania formula last year that without him, I think that Triple H is going to struggle to put everything together. Because as we've seen, as documented by my 2024 Triple H Women's Division booking, he doesn't do well when things doesn't go according to plan. He talked so much in that special of, we got to follow the GPS. We have a destination we want to go to, and we just follow the GPS. We go with the twists and the turns, and we just follow the roads.
Shut the fuck
we
up,
follow
Paul.
the path. But yet when something deterred you from your GPS, you made the women's division into a state of, I think that it's as bad. It's almost as bad of like 2019 women's division right now, that the WWE women's division.
Bailey wasn't even promoted. She wasn't even promoted.
That's the state that they're currently in, is that they've reverted back to 5 years ago booking of the women's division. So I don't have that much faith that this is WrestleMania is going to go as well as last year's WrestleMania if there's no Rock.
Same.
I'm happy about that, so it's fine.
I mean the same, because it's like, again, like, even everything I've been saying about The Rock. I mean, you put him on the pedestal to the point that you expect him to be 41, and then you might not even get that, because I know the report came out that he has to do reshoots for Moana. He has to do reshoots. And then he also has multiple other films this year being filmed. So he's a busy guy. He's a busy guy, and when you kind of do that, you kind of, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's like you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. But I don't know. I think The Rock will be missed a lot. I think WrestleMania will end up being fine. I think it will still be which either, the fucking formula for WrestleMania anyway. There's always one night is always better than the other. So that I still expect. It's just a matter of what night. Having The Rock missing. I mean, that's a big. I mean, I don't want to say a big blow, because obviously they're gonna sell tickets no matter what. But it's like it's gonna be very significant.
Yeah, Cena versus Cody sounds like a WrestleMania Night 1 main event to me. What about you?
Night
Krssi?
1 for sure.
It does,
Yeah, night one, and then Roman and Punk.
Unless like I said before, unless they treat John Cena like they do like the All-Star games, with the old guys retiring and give him like the All-Star. Like,
I'm not trying to see, because then I'm just gonna see him on the next big show. So don't do that. No, don't do that.
I'm just saying.
That's fake as fuck. That's fake as fuck.
Hey, I'm
see you
just
on
saying.
the next show.
I'm just saying.
As previously reported, details resurfaced on the allegations leading to current WWE executive producer Lee Fitting from being dismissed from ESPN over allegation of misconduct toward other women staffers at ESPN. PW Insider had more details on the internal reaction within WWE over the report by The Athletic. According to PW Insider, WWE was reportedly made aware about Fitting's situation and what led to his dismissal from ESPN at the time of his hiring. Additionally, there is said to be no fallout currently over the report. Fans speculated over Fitting being in trouble because they noticed that this week's WWE Raw did not include Fitting's name in the credits this week. That is because WWE has not had any names being listed in the credits for WWE Raw broadcasts, unlike with Friday Night SmackDown and NXT. The end of WWE's NXT broadcast on the CW this week did feature Fitting's name listed in the closing credits as an executive producer, along with Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels. So for now, it doesn't look like there's been any internal change, and WWE has not removed Lee Fitting from the closing credits of any of their live TV broadcasts. So we will keep you posted on anything regarding Lee Fitting in the weeks to come. We talked about that more in detail last week, so go over and check that out if you haven't already. But last note before we get into Raw this week, as previously noted, Randy Orton has been off of TV after being taken out by Kevin Owens in a brawl on Friday Night SmackDown with Owens hitting a power driver. According to a new update from Sports Illustrated wrestling writer Dr. Chris Featherstone, Orton is not expected to make his TV return at the WWE Raw on Netflix premiere next month. Per the report, Orton is not currently scheduled for the January Netflix debut. Featherstone wrote, I've had a bunch of people inquire about the status of Randy Orton regarding January 6th. I've been informed that he is currently not scheduled to be part of the debut episode of #WWE Raw on Netflix. So we will see when Orton makes his return to WWE programming following that attack by Kevin Owens. All I got to say is that apparently Randy Orton has a much weaker neck than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes received a better power. He received a super power driver, the package power driver. He came back 2 weeks later. Randy Orton received a regular ass power driver. Not even a regular ass power driver. It was a short power driver, and he's out. He's been out for months.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Cody did wrestle with a torn pec, so nothing's gonna stop him. And then Randy Orton is like 70 years old. So I mean,
you know what, guy?
He is. I mean, hopefully he ain't get fat more during the holidays.
Now we're calling Randy Orton 70. This is ridiculous.
Right. And fat.
What?
It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
He's like 70.
Here we are.
In wrestling years, he's like 70.
In wrestling.
WWE Raw this week. The show featured Drew McIntyre kicking off the show to talk about his goals of taking down the OG bloodline. This led to Sami Zayn coming down to challenge Drew to a rematch from Saturday night's main event. The two men brawled until Jey Uso came out to make the save for Sami. Later in the show, Drew McIntyre once again defeated Sami Zayn to go 10-0 against Sami in a solid main event matchup. Post-match, Drew attacked Sami or some more until Jey made the save again. However, the new bloodline appeared on Monday Night Raw and attacked Sami and Jey to close the show. You also had Io Sky beat Natalya and Alba Fire to advance in the WWE Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament. Yeah, it's not like Io is the only star in the goddamn tournament. I wonder who's going to win now. Seth Rollins cut a promo to hype his big match with CM Punk on WWE Raw on Netflix premiere. Damian Priest beat Dominic Mysterio via DQ after the Judgment Day interfered until the War Raiders made the save to stand tall with Priest. The New Day came out in Kofi Kingston's hometown of Boston, and they were booed out the building, even though his mom was in the front row. Kofi's mom was very upset with him over how he treated Big E, so she just walked away from him right before Christmas. This dude... I would feel bad for you, Kofi, if you weren't an awful son. You made your mom ride the middle seat from Ghana, West Africa? It's outrageous. Outrageous. He's a horrible son. He deserved to be walked away from. I said it. Horrible. Middle seat from Ghana? That's like 10 hours.
Frantic saying he's from Boston.
This was a nothing episode, a nothing burger episode of Raw too this week. That's why we didn't even do Rated Raw review this week, because I watched like the first half hour of the show. No, before the show even started, I was like, it's a taped episode. Romeo, we should probably scrap this week and then do next week. And he was like, you sure? I was like, yeah. And then I watched the episode and I was like, yep, I was right.
Yeah, no, both episodes were both SmackDown and Raw were trash this week. Sorry.
They phoned it in. It was the holidays. They phoned it in.
That's fine. But even yesterday's episode wasn't filmed and it still was trash.
True. Dion Jenkins says a John Cena versus Drew McIntyre feud is what I need to see next year. I agree. If you're not going to put Cena in a title match, I think Drew would be a great WrestleMania opponent.
He'd be a good heel. Because he's done with Punk, so it's like, where did he go next? Like,
yeah. You also get better promos with Cena. You
Yes.
also
I
get
feel like you should probably give John Cena a non-champion, because I feel like his final WrestleMania, that might be the place he should win. So why not just put him in a non-title matchup so people will believe he's gonna win?
Yep. Because you put him in a title match, they're not going to believe that he will win, and you don't want him. You're going to put you're going to make a retire man get a title. Goodbye.
I mean, he's Rocky Balboa.
Right.
Balboa. There you go. There you go. As previously reported, WWE announced that SmackDown will officially become a 3-hour program next week, January 3rd in Phoenix, Arizona. 3 hours.
Have fun if you're going there, Stephanie Hypes, for 3 hours.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that it's expected that Monday Night Raw will also become a 3-hour program once it moves to Netflix on January 6th. Raw has been 3 hours since 2011 up until this year when it moved back to 2. WWE has yet to announce the change. WWE previously mentioned that with Netflix, they don't have to end by a certain time as they do on network or cable television. However, WWE has several TV partners internationally that still air Raw. Several of them are sports channels that are used to changing time slots on short notice. The other TV partners have already been told that Raw will be 3 hours again next month. A source that is a major player in WWE noted, "We're going to 3 hours on both. This will give WWE 8 hours of content on television a week." God damn.
Well,
I feel like we're getting to oversaturation.
You think?
We're getting 6 hours of the main shows just for have very little wrestling.
Mad promos and backstage BS, and hopefully they give us some good vignettes. I don't know, but like, I don't know. And don't be like 5 matches on a 3-hour show. But then, do we want like 10 matches on a 3-hour show?
It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be like 7 matches. They do like 7 matches usually on their 3-hour programs. It's a lot. I agree, James Jones. It's mad. He said, "Man, that's wild." Yeah, I'm like dreading next week.
Yeah, I'm dreading SmackDown next week.
Yeah.
Everything else, the 2 hours of Raw, it finishes fast, but it's been consistent bullshit.
But we're going back to 3 hours on Netflix.
I know.
So
maybe they might. I don't know. I know the first episode is probably going to be all right. After that,
I know there's people out there that be like, "Oh no, it's not gonna be that bad." I'm sorry. I'm like, that's way too much. That's too much. It's too much.
It's gonna be the first 3 episodes is gonna be all right, and then after that, it's gonna go.
No. Deion Jenkins says ratings gonna fall. Ain't nobody watching all that. It's gonna fall slightly on SmackDown for sure, because that's what happened when Raw went to 3 hours. The ratings dropped, but they're making so much money on the ad revenue for the extra hour that it doesn't matter. Yep. And yes, this is what we call here false equivalency. Frantic World. He says it worked with Sting. Why not give John Cena a title match? And thank you, Mr. Bonda, for showing your support. He says Sting won the tag titles for the first time and left 3 days after. Cena has 16 world championships. He don't need it. Put over the youth. Exactly.
Mr. Bonda, you're correct, sir. Great job.
You are correct. You are correct. Indeed. But we shall see. We shall see how it works out. We'll talk about next week's premiere of 3 hours of SmackDown on the show here. But WWE has announced another show is going to be gone this year. WWE has not yet announced details for Tribute to the Troops this year, and a new report says that it's been quietly canceled.
Nobody watches that show. I'm sorry.
I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it once they stopped going to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, they don't go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio noted that the event is not happening and that people were asking about it in the last month, but it's not being taped. Dave Meltzer went on to say that the company had too many other things going on and noted that I don't know if it's done for good, but this is the first year that they haven't done anything with that. WWE brought back
Saudi Arabia. Oh, I thought I was on mute. Sorry.
No, you didn't. WWE brought back Saturday Night's main event for the first of continuing quarterly specials last week, 2 weeks ago, and has Raw's moved to Netflix starting in a couple of weeks. So that's their reasoning for the show being canceled this year. And then on the Netflix note, Netflix is now listing the following WWE programs to be added to the streaming service starting on January 1st. WWE Top 10. Monday Night Raw hosts some of the biggest and best matches in WWE history, featuring superstars John Cena, Triple H, Becky Lynch, and more. WWE Raw Classics. Big E hosts this collection of must-see Raw matches and moments featuring WWE superstars and legends, CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Triple H. WWE Road to WrestleMania. The road to WrestleMania goes through Raw, where WWE's top superstars raise the stakes in must-see matches and thrilling moments. WWE Superstar Profiles. WWE superstars step inside the square circle in pursuit of championships and glory in front of the WWE Universe. And WWE Legends Profiles. Legendary superstars of WWE make history with unforgettable matches and moments inside the square circle. The WWE the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Netflix has launched new categories in preparation for WWE debuting on the service in January. In addition to Monday Night Raw, Netflix will host several new shows. One of those shows is called WWE's Top 10, which covers the biggest and best matches in WWE history. Raw Classics, hosted by Big E, is his favorite matches on Raw. And categories for Road to WrestleMania, Superstar Profiles, and Legends Profiles have all been added to the streaming service. So it's real. It's damn real. We're just days away from Raw on Netflix. My question to you, Miss Krssi Love, how do you think Raw, WWE being on Netflix will affect the wrestling business? Will it increase the record business that WWE is doing right now? Will it have some effect on the rest of the industry? Like new wrestlers will be starting to train because it's available on Netflix, which is probably a bigger deal in like outside the United States than it is here in the US. So what do you think is going to be that effect, WWE being on Netflix?
It's going to be a big major thing because now it's like more, everyone has Netflix, and it's more of a, even though you'll be seeing it at the same time all over the world, but it's still like something like more globally, like it's like more, it can like reach out to more people, I feel like.
Yeah, I can see that. It's gonna get new viewers. It's just gonna
new
be
viewers for sure, because now they have Netflix. Like a lot of people don't have cable. So now this is like a big thing where it's something that's just gonna double their profit to have more eyes on, like, because they've been like rolling, like even like during the whole Christmas football game thing, they must have had like I don't know how many commercials for that stuff, and it's a big deal. And it's on a streaming platform now, like just like not. It's gonna have commercials, of course, because I was like, I didn't expect the football game to have commercials, but it did. But it's gonna have commercials, but it's not as much. But it's paid sponsors. It's something that's happening globally. This is a big thing. They're trying to they're trying to like. I think their main thing is getting rid of like cable and go all stream services all over.
Yeah, I think when the new deal with USA Network and even like CW, when that runs out, they might look into like the streaming service. But I think the model they got right now works for them because they're getting money from cable and streaming. So I think they have the right model for right now. Josh, what do you think about the effect that WWE being on Netflix is going to have for WWE and the entire wrestling industry?
I think it's going to have a bigger effect than a lot of people may think. When you go to a platform like Netflix, you're talking about one of the biggest brands in the world, worldwide. You're guaranteed to get how many watches, how many live views, So it's good for WWE. They're gonna milk the shit out of it. So if they get like 40 million people, they're gonna brag about it. That 40 million people just watch the biggest Raw in history. So I look forward to those. Not really. So yeah, like but as in like an overall industry, yeah. As far as it is gonna be good or bad, we'll see. But it's definitely gonna affect. Companies might do the same thing, not Netflix per se, but they might go to a streaming platform like once, like whatever is available, they might do that themselves.
Yeah, I feel like it as far as like positive change for the rest of the industry, it's going to make other streaming service or cable networks be more open to negotiating with another wrestling company. So that will be like a positive change that may work in the rest of the industry's favor. But historically, guys, when WWE is hot and on top of the business, no one else is. No one else can get hot until WWE comes back down. So until WWE comes back down, which I don't see coming anytime soon, because you could say, oh, 2025 is going to be a hot year, but 2026 will come back down. 2026, the media rights deal with Peacock expires, and they might be on Netflix worldwide. So it's only going up. It's only going up. Only going up. We do have a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, speaking of oversaturation, is it true that they are talking about extending money in the bank 2 nights? Is it true that they are talking about extending money in the bank 2 nights? I hope not, but they are. They are talking about extending their bigger pay-per-views to 2 nights. They're starting with SummerSlam. Next is going to be Royal Rumble. And I assume after that is either Survivor Series or Money in the Bank. You muted, Krssi, if you're trying to talk. Yeah, I know. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, they are probably that's gonna be in the running. I don't know if it's gonna happen soon, but it's gonna happen eventually, I think. Unfortunately. Everything's gonna be 2 nights. Every TV show's gonna be 3 hours.
Kill us all right now. Just do it. I mean, I'm just like, we don't need 2 nights for everything. Like it was cool for like some stuff, but like now it's just overrated.
We also got another super chat donation here from Call Me Mr. Bonda. Thank you so much, Call Me Mr. Bonda, for the support. He says, yep, 2-night Rumble, 2-night Mania, 2-night Money in the Bank, 2-night SummerSlam, 2-night Survivor Series. 2 nights. Everyone gets 2 nights. You get 2 nights. You get 2 nights.
Wait, we get Money in the Bank too? Nah, son.
You
we
know
don't
what?
Need no.
You know what? Since we're adding 2 nights to everything,
nope.
I'm going to add another host to the show. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add my co-host from Rated Raw Review, everyone's favorite thumbnail maker and everyone's favorite
Aries
president of every fan club, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. How are you doing?
You forgot to mention that I'm followed by Karrion Kross, but that's okay. It's a long introduction. Thank you.
Why
What's up, guys?
Kross, though? Of all people, you want to be followed by?
Oh, I already am. What do you mean? I don't want to be. I already am.
What's up, friend? How
What's
are
up?
you?
Good to see
How's
you.
it going?
Good to see you. Doing
nice
good.
to see you. Good.
What's up, Josh?
Well, why is this guy on?
It's a special show.
Why is
he's
he
a
on?
fan of the show.
Our fellow Aries brother. That's how you treat him.
He's a fan of the show. First time caller.
I treat the same energy for everybody.
Okay, well, I love the background. First of all, friend, it looks great.
Yes, it looks lovely.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
How's life treating you?
It's all right.
That's it. Okay.
My review on Tuesday is about to turn into a review in a 3-hour show again.
Oh, that's where you feeling kind of depressed now? You're feeling depressed now?
Oh, we'll always miss the 2-hour hour. We'll always miss it. It was a breeze.
Imagine how I feel, Romeo, after review 3 hours on a Friday night.
Damn.
We gotta get Dutch Mantel some
I'm
coffee
about to
and
say,
caffeine.
I'm about to say you gotta get Dutch
He's 75. They expect him to review a show at 11 o'clock. 75.
It's gonna have to be
Poor
a
Dutch.
speed run.
Well, yeah, will wait till 11 to do the other show so you can watch both SmackDown
Well, we did that
and
for like a year, and
Okay.
AEW cared about Rampage, but they only cared about it for about a year. So
Okay, that's fair.
final WWE notes to get through before we get to our next round of awards, which Romeo is here for. WWE NXT this week. The show was again from Lowell, Massachusetts. Featured the controversy of the Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe NXT Championship matchup last week being settled by Ava, who made a triple threat match with Trick, Eddie, and Obafemi for next Tuesday's New Year's Evil show. Obafemi stood tall after knocking down both men. Stephanie Vaquer defeated Cora Jade in a decent little matchup. You also had Ethan Page explain his actions against Javon Evans from last week's show. OTM picked up a victory over the D'Angelo family, No Quarter Catch Crew, and Hank and Tank in a Christmas Chaos 4-way matchup to become the number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Post-match, it was revealed a Santa imposter who attacked Tony D'Angelo at ringside was none other than Ridge Holland. Why they didn't just put Ridge Holland in the North American title division in the first place instead of trying to make him into a fucking main eventer? I swear, no one in these two companies knows how to book well. I'm sorry. There's just too many obvious flaws. Too many obvious flaws.
I think they really need to open it up and like make like people that have watched the product, like when you interview them, don't make it like as a regular like sports person. Like you need a person that's like knows how wrestling works and knows how to put things together. Like look at the board if you're a detective and like
we have people who know how wrestling works, and literally all Shawn Michaels does is book angles that he was a part of. And all Triple H does is do long-term storytelling, but his form of long-term storytelling is doing the same thing week after week after week after week. And then you got Tony Khan, who's a goofy wrestling fan who knows about wrestling, but all he can do is not do long-term storytelling and then rip up the script every fucking day. All these people suck. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, final note from WWE this week. PW Insider reports that next week's episode of WWE NXT Level Up will be the last one, as WWE has decided to cancel it. The announcement was made by Dante Chen on the episode. The series will end so WWE can film material for their upcoming A&E series, WWE LFG, along with other projects. The filming would take place instead of Level Up tapings. It's possible that some other projects may be connected to the WWE ID program as well. So some changes coming to WWE, some changes to AEW, but let's go back and look back on the year that was. So if you're just joining us, if you missed earlier our start of our Tru Heel Heat year-end awards, you had Mariah May, our 2024 heel turn of the year, Drew McIntyre, the 2024 best on the mic.
Got it right.
Drew McIntyre, 2024 best individual promo.
Got it right.
Drew McIntyre, 2024 Tru Heel of the Year, which CM Punk was not pleased with at all. And then finally, we had the Tru Heel Heat 2024 Best of the Community Award going to Will Chisholm, who had a beautiful, beautiful speech in the live chat. Romeo, you missed it. Go back. Go back and watch it back. But that was our awards so far. Next up, we got our next round of awards for 2024. Let us know in the live chat who you think is going to win. And of course, with our panel, we'll find out who they think should win these awards.
Oh, by the way, but you guys got 3 out of 4 right there. Heel turn of the year. I know it was late, but it's the New Day. It's not even close.
Thank you for your misogyny, not wanting to give it to the women. So Thank you.
Mm.
That was nice.
First of
That was
all,
nice.
Roman, that's just
Nice
happened like a week
misogyny.
ago, and
Nice
everyone's trying to
misogyny.
say it's
It happened this year. Yeah.
right. Whatever.
It happened this year. That's all that mattered to him. But yes, we have Women's Match of the Year up next. So we'll start with you, Josh. What was your Women's Match of the Year?
My women's match of the year. I was leaning with Eel's match at Marigold.
With Utami Hayashishita.
Yep.
There you go. That's yours. Romeo?
Basing it only off of the matches I saw, mine's is Willow and Statlander from All Out, which was freaking awesome.
The street fight?
Yes.
Okay, you got to specify. Oh, yeah, that was it. Okay, sorry, never mind.
Krssi Love? What about you?
My match of the year,
Women's Match of the Year.
Women. Yeah. I would have to agree with Romeo.
Willow and
Statland. Yeah. Honorable mention to Mercedes and Mercedes and damn it. Statlander.
You want OJ back?
Okay. So we got here, this is how it panned out. So in third place, we had Bailey versus Io Sky from WrestleMania 40 night 2. In second place, Romeo and Krssi got it right. Second place, Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale from AEW All Out. And number one, the 2024 Women's Match of the Year goes to Mercedes Moné versus Hazuki from NJPW Strong Style Evolve.
Okay.
So this is a case of something that happened like a week ago, winning awards. Krssi, just letting you know. But a late candidate, but what a candidate it was. One of the best women's matches that I ever seen. Many people calling it the best women's match to ever take place in the United States. Mercedes Moné completely redeeming herself for those two disappointing matches in AEW this year. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Make everybody forget about the disappointment. Just come out with a great album, score 50-point triple-double. That's what Mercedes did in New Japan. So well deserving. That was my women's match of the year myself. So gotta get into that.
I got it downloaded. Maybe I'll check it out in like 3 months.
In your case, never.
This dude ain't gonna watch it till 2027.
2027. That's generous.
Might be my.
Then he's gonna be like, you know what, guys? I think y'all got it right in 20.
Yeah. Whenever I do see it, I'll let you know. You're probably right.
All right. Keep it on the match tip. We got worst match of the year. So worst match of the year, Krssi. What was your worst match of the year?
Mercedes and Britt Baker.
Fair. Romeo?
Great choice. Mine was, I can't believe I actually saw this match. Like, I heard how bad it was. I wanted to entertain myself by seeing how bad it was. It was Ibushi versus Marufuji. Now, a lot of people might have forgotten about this match. It took place so early in the year, one of the first days of the year. That was rough.
It was. I spoiler alert for our worst match of the year countdown list. I said it was the saddest match to watch this year. It was sad. It was, dude blew out his ankles in the match. Like, that's ridiculous. Josh,
so long.
Worst match of the year.
Nia versus Liv.
Ooh.
So I can inform us that on the community tab poll that did win the community tab poll by a steep margin, but we had to combine all the votes here. So coming in and third was Daddy Ass versus Switchblade Jay White from AEW Dynamite. That was third place. Second place was in fact a tie between Nia and Liv Morgan from Crown Jewel, and Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso from WrestleMania 40. And number one first match of the year was Bully Ray versus Jinder Mahal. Bully Ray versus Raj
Where did you get
Destiny
this AI picture of this man?
in a tables match from MLP Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling's Forged in Excellence.
It looks way too happy.
We had so many people who just saw that matchup on paper, didn't watch it, and added it to their list.
Wow.
They was like, that looks bad. Who would think that was a good idea? Like, seriously.
Damn. Never seen it, but congrats.
You should. If you go out of your way to watch bad matches, you should see that one. That's a must watch. That's a must watch for sure.
That one's hard to find. Is that on YouTube or something?
I saw it on Triller. I just got it on Triller. Yeah. Well, no, it's on the streaming sites. The streaming sites had the MLP show.
Oh, I didn't notice.
And look at that. I said I was adding two night pay-per-views to all these events, and then I said I was adding a co-host. I'm gonna add another one. Here's another one for you. The Candle Maker. This Tru Heel Heat alcoholic enthusiast himself. Top guy JJ's here.
You forgot to add the man who doesn't answer his DMs. Jesus.
Anybody that knows me, hold on. What's up, Ray? Before we get into the accountability aspect, hey, boo, what's up, girl? SP, what up?
How are
man?
you, my love?
Hope your Christmas was good with all the kids, man.
How you
Hope
doing,
everybody
bro?
had a wonderful Christmas. Hope everybody leads into a wonderful New Year and all of that good stuff, because it's obviously going to be the last time we see each other for 2024. So, want to get that stuff. Now, this guy right here.
Down below us? Him?
Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone that knows me knows from November till the end of December, I go into an abyss.
I'm kind of surprised
to an abyss.
Me too. I was about to say, you're not at work today.
Because I have a half day today, which I won't be on. I have a half day today, so I gotta leave in like an hour. So
okay.
Let me get some stuff. But this is the abyss month for me. It's almost over, but this is a terrible month for me. December is always terrible, and I think anybody that's known me for more than two years at least, and you've known me for over a decade, sir, knows I go into an abyss.
You said November. My DMs have gone unanswered since September.
So okay, all right. So
fair.
Got him.
No. So hold on. You know what his DM it entails? It entails a live stream that I've completely missed. So I get like a 1 hour's notice of a stream that's taking place. Look, he's doing his research now.
I got a DM I got a DM that says everything good, my guy. No response.
Yeah, I told you he was doing his research.
I'm just checking on you.
I told you he was doing his research.
I'm just checking on you.
But you know what? I apologize, Romeo. I apologize. I am absolutely. I'm terrible with my phone in the holiday season. Just I'm
surprised I got him because I got him on like a last minute tip too.
Anyone that knows me personally knows I am terrible with my phone in fall and winter. I'm gonna throw fall in there too. Fuck it.
There you go. Just throw it all in there.
It's all love, brother. You somehow managed to look at your phone when it was time to beat me in the fantasy football. You managed to look at your phone then.
Oh, yeah. So,
man, Romeo, tough loss over in the sleeper.
On my ride to work, I have to do things that has to involve. If it involves fantasy, I don't do fantasy. Literally, the only thing I even involve with is fantasy football. I have a fantasy basketball team. That shit is like 2-8. That shit is like the worst thing fucking walking because I pays no attention to it. The whole roster's hurt. I don't pay attention to that shit. That shit is terrible. Just saying. Well, the year's about to come to a close. I do have certain goals for 2025, and hopefully, just being more available is one of them.
And answering your phone.
And what's fucked up about it is that I have what's fucked up is that I have two phones. I think
I
that's
know.
the
That makes it
problem.
funnier.
You literally
I
missed
think
the
I need to
Ivy
get
Shot
rid of
already.
one. I think I need to get rid of one.
There you go.
I got
Yeah.
some planning I need to do.
Our producer said he has 2 phones. He can't answer a text. Yep. Seems about right. But yes, you came on the right week because we're at our year-end awards, and we've made it to best non-wrestler of 2024. So that can be a commentator, a ring announcer, a manager, anyone who is not a wrestler but contributes to professional wrestling in 2024. Krssi Love, who was your best non-wrestler of the year?
Is he considered a wrestler now, Logan Paul?
It's non-wrestler.
Yeah.
If they wrestled a match, they're a wrestler.
Okay, but okay, non-wrestler. Come back to me. Okay.
All right. I went with Samantha Irvin, like a lifetime.
Oh.
Romeo.
Okay.
I want to give it to her. She made a terrible decision, but I don't think it was a strong year for this category. But I went with Michael Cole.
Top guy JJ. What about you?
On the spot there. Listen, anytime this man blesses our TV screens, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, Paul Heyman.
I like that one.
Paul Heyman.
Krssi, do you have an answer now?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna go with either Stokely or Paul Heyman. I like that answer.
This was a 2-horse race.
2-horse race.
It was a 2-horse race.
What'd I
It was
say?
very clear. It was second place, Prince Nana.
Oh, I like that one.
And first place with 44% of the vote, Paul Heyman. It was
right. He's
I-
by default, bro.
I like the Prince Nana one too. That's actually really good.
obvious. Like Paul Heyman has been in the running for best non-wrestler of the year for the past like almost 2 decades now.
Okay.
Working like 20% of the dates, if that.
That's what I said.
impressive. That's impressive.
2 months, 3 months, 4 months. You are getting entertainment when all you, ladies and gentlemen, you already know you're about to be entertained.
Maximize your minutes. Maximize your minutes.
Absolutely. Now this year we switched things up because we added most improved and breakout star together. Because some people usually have trouble with picking out a most improved. Some people sometimes have trouble picking out a breakout star. So we just combined it all into one. So our breakout star, most improved.
Can I ask you a question really fast? Really fast. I just want to just keep consistency here. Just let it know that it's consistent. Did I place a vote in any of these categories this year? Even though you tagged me in how many messages?
I tagged you every time I took a top 5 from
I saw the tags. I saw them.
It ain't biased, y'all.
To be fair to top guy JJ, this is in his defense. Most of the niggas on our team did not fill out the form. So be fair.
I'm sorry.
You at least have a reason. Most of these niggas, I literally put it multiple times this week because I was desperate. I was like, yo, we're literally doing the show on Saturday. Could y'all fill it out? Me and Romeo both pinned it. Literally, when Romeo pinned it, I was like, all right, maybe somebody will fill it out. Only Romeo filled it out.
Okay, and I saw it. I'm one of those niggers. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. It's a hard R there.
I'm one of those niggers. And I looked at that shit and I started being it and I was like, the fuck is that? I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. It was like I was at a point and I was just like, this is like work. I was like, I can't remember all this shit. No, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm one of the niggas. And I'm sorry.
I started.
I was like, you got me with the top 5 stuff, but then you had me go fill out some form.
Literally, the last time that I shared the link for y'all to put it in, I erased top 5. I just wanted y'all to give me an answer.
Question. And you know what? And listen, I take accountability for that. I already know that. I'm taking
responsibility. I was one of the niggas. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry. I didn't do it.
The question
and I'm telling you, I didn't do it because I felt very overwhelmed and my brain was starting to hurt. And I was like, fuck this shit. He'll get it from the rest of the crew, but the rest of the crew didn't do it. So shame on us. And shame on us. And we will do. I will make sure next year we will do better. How about that?
Yo, at least because I didn't even go as far as Krssi did. I ain't even go as far as Krssi did. She at least looked. Did you provide multiple choice?
No, that's the damn problem.
It didn't even have to be a correct answer. You just had to put it in.
I'm telling SP. Hold on. Let me help you here. We're getting old, bro. We're getting old. We need to see like shit that jogs memory, like names, like at least 4 to 5 names that we can. Hold on. In fairness,
I am pretty sure if I take the time, it takes more time. It takes more time.
Do less questions.
No. JJ, that's bad advice because I would be pissed right now. I would be pissed right now if I came up with multiple choice and niggas still did not fill it out. I would be more pissed.
Now, in my defense, for me, if you would have put multiple choice, I probably would have picked one.
Yes, I was going to say that maybe one person fills out the form.
But I'll be honest with you.
And then I wouldn't be one of the niggas, so it's okay.
When we have a team of 10 people and only one extra person, and me taking the time to put multiple choice for different awards, and one extra person fills it up, I still would be here pissed the fuck off. I would be pissed the fuck off.
This is what happens when the manager sends like 37 emails and doesn't get a reply to one, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck, man?"
And we have our team meeting, and we want to know why he so pissed at us because we didn't do the fucking work.
Probably got to start in November.
Niggas is trying to grow here, B. Like, and y'all can't even click a fucking button.
In November, I'm gonna start handing it out in November.
That period,
then it's gonna be worth me at the final Tru Heel Heat of the year being pissed off and ranting about. Y'all told me last year, give it to me earlier. I gave it to you one more, and I'm sure only like 2 extra people.
I'm giving you. Let me say. If you provide multiple choice, I give you my word. I will fill out the form for 2025.
Hey, remember this? At this point, at 2 hours,
I will give you my word in 2025 if you provide multiple choice. Because this nigga right here is not going to remember shit that happened in January through March.
That's fair.
Right. It's time for everyone to start a journal.
Exactly. Like I thought y'all learned from me. Look, I do star ratings every week. It's because I have notes. I jot down notes. If a match was great, I jot down a note. If a promo was great, I jot down a note.
SP, I love you, but like I'm just letting you know that's what makes you you. You are the boss man. You take the notes. I don't write shit down but super chats. I'm telling you that right now. And I gotta seriously find them every time we get ready to do the next show. I'm like, where the fuck did I put the fucking paper from last week?
I tried.
So you want me to remember something?
I think I stopped in March. I'm gonna do better this year. 2025. I'll make it past March.
We have most improved breakout star of the year. Krssi Love, who is your most improved breakout star of the year?
Even though she had a great beginning of the year, and then the other half of the year, so I'm gonna put Mariah May. Okay. Honorable mention Queen Aminata, even though she's probably no one ever voted for her, but honorable mention to her.
Keep that same energy, boo. You keep going until people ride the bandwagon, and then you won't be like, "There's no room."
My pick was Stephanie Vicaire.
Nice,
JJ.
I'm gonna go Obafemi.
Ooh,
Romeo.
I also went Obafemi. He's picking it up in the ring on the mic. Honorable mention, late push, Chelsea Green.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green, yes.
Romeo just nailed every reason why for Oba for me, especially the ability for the microphone.
So a couple of different people got like a couple of the same votes. So you had a couple of votes for Chelsea, had a couple of votes for Jacob Fatu, a couple of votes for Gabe.
That's a good one.
For Gabe Kidd from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Harley Cameron got a couple of late votes. Stephanie Vicaire,
she's a good, definitely, yep.
But number one with 25% of the vote was Oba Femi. Oba Femi, the breakout star of 2024. He's a future WWE champion for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell
He
yeah.
is.
As long as he
They like big guys.
stays on the tracks, don't do anything Odyssey Jones would do.
Why do you even put that in the air?
I'm just saying.
This man is like one of the few like black golden gooses that we have.
I know.
Don't
Keep it
put
that
that
way.
shit in the air.
I'm trying to
Warning
scare the
him.
hoes.
Warning
Next up, we got the tag team of the year, Romeo.
Ooh.
Fraxium, and it's not close. Not in my opinion.
Krssi?
It's a bad year for tag teams. Bad year.
It's
Yeah,
a terrible year for tag teams. I was gonna say Street Profits just being funny, but I know they're nowhere near that. I would say DIY.
JJ?
This was a disgusting year. God damn. I'm just gonna give y'all one. I'm just gonna say one for shits and giggles, just for them making it to the company and winning the belts. The Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City Machine Guns actually did get some first place votes. This was one of our most voted on topics.
Oh, Eminem was a good one too.
MXM, you mean?
Yep.
You keep calling them Eminem. It's MXM.
Slim Shady.
Slim Shady.
Let's
to the twin babies. To the windows up. To the windows up. To the mid 80s.
I'll send you the album, Krssi.
Okay.
Tag team of the year. We got a total of 134 votes. Third place was ABC, who got 17 of those votes. Second place was the Young Bucks, who got 26 of those votes.
Respectable.
But with 56% of the votes in total, 75 of the 134 votes went to Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, the NXT tag team champions.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
When they breaking up.
Oh,
wow.
That's what Triple H is thinking.
No, their whole gimmick is their dysfunctional tag team. And Sean actually makes it work because he does different ways to show they're dysfunctional. Except not like Triple H, who does the same thing every week to show someone's dysfunctional.
It's just the WWE way, though.
Accidental hits, losing, frustration, blood boil, turn.
He does it ad nauseum, like again. No, that part again. Not even the whole sequence. He says, do that part, but again. Do that part, but again. Do that part, but again. And he does it for months. And then he eventually gets to September.
And he did it all. And JJ, you had it all in that right order. That order, right? Like you just do it all in that sequence.
It's a formula of heel turns for tag teams for decades.
I expect tag team wrestling to have a much better year next year. It can't get worse, can it? Can't get worse.
It can.
The bar is not that very. It's not very high, Romeo.
It was such a bad year for tag team wrestling. PWI decided to give tag team of the year to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to race bait. But anyway, moving on. Feud and storyline of the year for 2024.
Man just said race bait.
I'm sorry. Like, yo, when I saw
it's so factually correct, bro. That's why I'm like, it
was just like, yo, I know no one on your team believes that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill was the best tag team this year. Y'all are just race baiting and also misogyny baiting. Because you know there's gonna be men that are upset about it, and women are gonna be like, "Look, we did it!"
You don't even need an explanation, bro. When you said race bait, that shit was on the fucking button, bro.
I'm just saying, yo. Feud and storyline of the year. Krssi Love, we'll start with you.
Bloodline.
Romeo.
I went with Punk and Drew.
JJ?
Yeah, I got to agree with Romeo here, man. Punk and Drew was it for me. That was beautiful.
I went with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page.
Ooh, I like it.
So we got here.
Not bad. Not bad.
This was a pretty much another one that it was really a 2-horse race, and we kind of have said the 2 horses. So coming in second place was coming in third place was Cody Finishes the Story. Coming in at number 2 was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and number 1 Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland.
Nice.
Back to back. 2023 feud of the year, 2024 feud of the year.
And look,
Good
they're
for
even
them.
arguing over the award.
And it's fire. That's what this was my favorite one you made, Romeo.
Yeah.
Because it's fire. This makes too much sense with these 2 guys.
The 2 best feuds involved violent hatred for one another,
as it should.
which is something that wrestling has been missing for a long time, and then we got it from multiple places in the same year. That was beautifully done by both ends.
Early prediction for next year's storyline of the year. It's gonna be Pretty Deadly putting together their musical. This is week by week. This is
so much fun. I love it.
what an arc.
That's the only best part of, for SmackDown. That's what makes SmackDown like watchable. Other than that,
And then when
nothing
it
else
happens-
matters.
And then when it happens, it's a 3-hour musical.
It's all
Cinema.
throughout SmackDown, all
Cinema.
throughout the whole episode. And then finally, our final award before we get into AEW, we added another new award, the best Tru Heel Heat YouTube show of the year. So this is out of all the shows that we do here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. You guys could vote on who you thought was the best. So you guys ready? You guys ready to hear this?
Yeah, that's
So-
kind of embarrassing because niggas didn't even vote on their own shows.
No, you can't. No, I will say some people did vote on their own shows, but besides the point. So not gonna do the placing and anything because the winner of the best YouTube show on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel is
A Rambo.
Rated
Oh!
Raw review. Yeah.
Okay,
I accept.
first of all.
I accept.
First of all.
Thank you.
Why
Thank
does he
you.
look- why does he look like a cast member on 90 Day Fiance?
This nigga look like a motherfucking stunt double to Craven.
Your eyes is all like you look cockeyed right here, son.
I guess. Maybe that's how I look normally. I don't know.
No, you
you have
don't.
an acceptance speech, Romeo? You have an
Well, I
acceptance
want to thank myself, definitely, for making Rated Raw Review such a great show on the channel. I'd like to thank my co-host SP3 for always being there, always more than me, in fact. And I
The
wanna
fact that
thank-
there isn't like a
So
small.
why is it
AI
only you
insert-
accepting it?
Right, where you at? Like,
That's
you,
what I'm
you-
saying. Where's the fucking AI insertion of SP3 like right next to you?
I don't know.
He
The
didn't
whole,
make
the
one.
whole image didn't upload. It got cropped out. I don't know.
Whole image. His whole image didn't upload. You didn't even get a nigga's body part on there, bro. Like,
Not
Hey,
even a
look-
hand.
Not even a hand.
Not even a hand, yo.
Could have put
He
a
didn't even
black
get the
hand
nigga's shirt.
on the trophy, but he ain't even do that.
Oh,
Yes,
like,
I'd,
like,
I'd like to
like,
thank
even
Chase
like-
as well.
You could have put it like
Chase.
on his shoulder, like you could have put like you know even like SP like merged like his hand right there. Nothing like we accept this together. Nothing.
But in actuality, the winner of the voting, Rated Raw Review came in third. It was tied with our New Japan podcast.
What the hell is this?
Oh my
Number-
god!
Number
I
two,
I
Can we
hope
get
y'all
our
make this
poll
part
of
of
the
like one
year
of the
on
reels. 'cause This
December
is good
28th?
shit right here.
number two
Get that damn picture
was,
off the screen, damn it.
number two was
He got a bronze. He got the bronze.
number two. Second place was AE Ramble, and in first place, the flagship podcast. We're the winners. We're the winners of
Rigged,
your
rigged.
Fucking place.
Rigged.
YouTube show.
Stop the
of the
count. Stop the count. Rigged.
Now you call it rigged? Now it's rigged.
So do you have an AI image of us?
He about to be he about
You're
to
right
be
here.
Trump, he about to be Trump in 2020, bro. He about to call his whole shit rigged.
Rigged.
You're right here,
totally
guys.
rigged.
No need for AI image. You're right here.
Okay.
Davion says AE Ramble with SB3 and Jimmy Macaram. We got Frantic World who says the AEW review show. We got Power Driver Finisher who says AE Ramble. Y'all guys should have voted on the form. The form was on the
Literally everyone is saying A Ramble, but nobody voted for them to win it.
Exactly. You had a chance. You had days to fill out the form and vote on it, and you didn't.
So they was one of the niggas too then.
Well, they're not on our team. They're not on the channel. I think
Okay,
that's a little worse. They choose to click on the link and come here. So I'm not gonna go in on them like I did on our own team. But we got Chuck Berries who says, "Damn, Romeo got punked."
Yo, he gave a whole acceptance speech for third place, bro.
It's like my fan.
Chase got to be like, "Thank God I wasn't in that speech."
Oh my god, that's hilarious. All right, moving on to AEW Dynamite this week. It was Dynamite on 34th Street live. Oh, not live, but this was on last Sunday from the Hammerstein Ballroom, aired on Christmas Day. The show featured the final league matches of the AEW Continental Classic, which saw Will Ospreay defeating Brody King in a tremendous opener to the show. You also had Ricochet versus Darby Allin going to a 20-minute time limit draw in a very good matchup, while Commander pulled off the upset of the tournament over Claudio Castagnoli, thanks to Darby leaving Brass Knuckles behind to screw over Claudio. Post-match, the Death Riders jumped Commander until Jay White and Orange Cassidy made the save. Jon Moxley attacked both men, but Hangman Adam Page came down to surround Mox with OC and White, with all three challengers laying out the AEW World Champion ahead of World's End. Thanks to the Gold League matches, Ricochet finishes number 1 with 10 points, while Will Ospreay advances at number 2 with 9 points. In the Blue League, Kazuchika Okada beat Shelton Benjamin in a solid bout, while Kyle Fletcher defeated Daniel Garcia in a great main event. Post-match, you had Ospreay came down to stare down with Fletcher. Thanks to the Blue League matches, Fletcher moves on at number 1 with 12 points, while Okada finishes number 2 with 10 points, which means it will be Fletcher faces Ospreay tonight, while Okada faces Ricochet at World's End. Also, Tony Storm, that upstart rookie, pulled off an upset victory over Talia Valkyrie. She's got a bright future. She's got a real bright future. Real bright future, that Tony Storm. She's a rookie.
World's End is tomorrow?
It's tonight.
It's tonight. Okay.
Yeah. And Romeo will be hosting the watch along. So get ready. Get ready, guys.
No problem.
But JJ, I'll go to you first. What did you think about Dynamite in the Hammerstein Ballroom and just seeing the Hammerstein on TV in general?
From what I saw of it, because I definitely did not see this entire episode, it looked like, you know, it's beautiful to see that a packed house for an ECW show. It's a little ECW show, you know, because that's what they thought they was going to. They were like, "Oh, Hammerstein, we're going to." Oh, it's fucking AEW, but then you still get some good wrestling out of it. So, you know, it's always great to see wrestling in the Hammerstein, and it's always good to see good crowds participate in shows, which always makes shows better. Take fucking notes, AEW. Stop going to these bullshit rink-a-dink cities that don't give a fuck about wrestling or don't give a fuck about y'all because they're home-based. They only care about one brand or one sport. Just take that and absorb it and just keep doing that. Keep going to fucking wrestling towns, and then you'll get much better outcomes and better products for your shit. Because I saw the Collision show got fucking skyrocketed in ratings over the weekend, so which was great to see.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Hey, it happened. It happened.
Romeo's like, I gotta do anything I can to hate on AEW. There's a reason for that.
Much needed context to explain.
Why did it happen? Yeah, why
did it happen? Huge college football lead-in. Yes. Even I forgot to change the channel to the next college football game. So I helped out the rating.
and then people liked what they saw and kept watching. Damn, bro.
Yeah, it didn't have the bleeding of the audience that it usually does. That there was a lot of people that stuck around and watched the rest of the show despite the leading.
Just saying. And we know it ain't gonna be this way every week. Let's just give him love when he got it. Next week,
Romeo got no love for AEW. All he's got is angst and disdain.
Yeah, but I mean, it was
I'm
okay.
hosting a watch along tonight.
It was good from what I saw of it because I really probably only saw like 45 minutes of the show.
This has been the best run of shows that AEW has done in like a long time. Between the Winter is Coming 2 weeks ago was really good. Holiday Bash had one of the best matches of the year with Darby and Ospreay. Then the Christmas Collision in Hammerstein Ballroom, that was great, probably the best Collision episode of the year. And then Dynamite was a really strong go home show. This is the best stretch that they've had since before All In with their TV product right now.
See, it will get better, guys. See, all we needed was a few weeks. It'll get better. Everybody
just have to keep it going.
Last month, everybody thought AEW was going out of business.
We got heat for saying that they had inconsistent booking. That's all we said.
Yeah, that's all it is. If they have bad shit, you'll get bad fucking comments about it. If they do good shit, you get good shit. Keep the same fucking energy. Can't fucking love everything just because it's on at Wednesday at 8:00. Like the fuck.
Also true. Following up with a report from AEW, a new report had some new details on Kenny Omega's schedule ahead of his expected return to AEW. As we talked about last week, Omega has teased that he's returning and he will be making his return to the ring at Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th against Gabe Kidd. Fightful Select reports that Omega is supposed to leave for Japan on January 1st or 2nd and will be in the country for Wrestle Kingdom. Omega is not publicly booked for the January 4th pay-per-view. Additionally, the report notes that the active plan is for Omega to be at World's End, though there is no word on the capacity in which he will be at the show. Omega has been out of action since December of last year when he was diagnosed with diverticulitis and has not been regularly on the road with AEW since then. We talked about it last week. I will echo it again. Kenny Omega is such a big missing factor to AEW television, and AEW doesn't feel whole without a Kenny Omega.
That is a fact.
100%. Please end this reign of terror by John Moxley. Omega, please.
Said this like literally 2 months ago, man. I was like, yo, I miss Kenny Omega. Like, you feel like his absence. Like you can. There's such an ingredient missing with him, man. And please, the sooner the better. But he has to come back healthy so he can be here regularly. Don't rush back if you don't fucking feel 100%. Please. Don't want to see you for 2-3 weeks and then you aggravate something or something acts up. Just make sure when you come back, we can get you through Revolution, through Double or Nothing, all of that good stuff, because 2025 should be a big year for AEW.
We have not had a full year of Kenny Omega since 2020.
Yeah.
2020. That's ridiculous. Like, we have not had a full year of seeing Kenny Omega without any illness or injury. We just want him to be all right and be a part of wrestling. And I love the comment that Chris said when I asked him for the best matches of the year. He's like, I really miss Kenny Omega because this is like the first time in years I don't have a Kenny Omega match on my top 5.
True.
Definitely makes you miss the cleaner for sure. But I will ask you guys with the report that we read last week and this one, starting with you, Miss Krssi Love, 0 to 100, what percentage you're putting on Kenny Omega return tonight at World's End?
75%.
That's fair. JJ?
50.
Romeo?
80.
I'm going to put it at 55. So I'm not the low man, but I'm closer to JJ than anybody else. I think it's like
Right.
it's up or down. We're gonna see, but I feel like that would be the best choice. Have him come back on this show. But
it'd be great to see.
One of the bigger news points from AEW this year has been the whole Lucha Bros drama that's been going on. Penta El Zero Miedo left AEW earlier this year, and while Rey Fenix is currently under AEW contract, it's believed he will be gone too. Both are expected to head to WWE. Penta is likely already there, as WWE has been airing vignettes that appear to be teasing his debut. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the reason the two decided they wanted to leave All Elite Wrestling as they felt they had stagnated in the company. Not only that, but they heard that WWE was interested. Tony Khan attempted to keep the two by offering more money, but that by that point, they had already made their decision. When Tony Khan and or others tried to talk to the pair about renewing their deal, they told them to talk to their agent instead of them. That was when people in AEW knew the pair were leaving, and Khan decided not to use them on TV anymore.
It's very Juan Soto of them.
Especially when the person you're referring people to go talk to is world-renowned grifter Conan.
Oh, that's their agent?
That's their agent and manager. It's Conan.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I 100%. This is one report where I'm like, no, I believe every word of this. I believe every word of this. I believe AEW being like, oh, you want us to go talk to who? Oh, Conan's your agent. Oh, Tony, they ain't re-signing. Like, I'm not even gonna make that call. Like, they ain't re-signing. They want us to go talk to Conan? Nah, they ain't re-signing.
Hey,
that's what that's not like. That's what that's
they gave them 5 years. So let them test the waters, see if something else works. Go get that bag. They've been in the game long enough to deserve it. So go ahead and go get it. And if you come out flourishing, you come out flourishing. If you don't make it there, then you realize you tried it.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. Ricky Starks has been another news point for AEW as of late. He hasn't been seen on AEW TV since March of this year, and the company recently pulled him from planned GCW dates. Fightful Select reports that Stark had to ask permission to do the first GCW show he appeared at. He was originally set for others, but due to deteriorating AEW GCW relationship, he was no longer approved. It was noted that Starks still has permission to work the independent scene, just not GCW. It was noted that Starks also didn't get approval for his recent interview with Chris Van Vliet. In an interview with Josh Martinez on Z100, Chris Jericho spoke about his appearance at GCW Highest in the Room, which he said was an attempt by AEW to mend fesses with GCW. He said, we were looking at Matt's dates because I really wanted to do something on an independent show because he's the king of the indies and you wanted to create buzz for this. I wanted to do something that gets extra focus on it. I was looking at his independent date and he was in Los Angeles at GCW. I just wanted to have a gig at the Whiskey with Curtain, Jericho's Kiss cover band. It was literally 20 minutes down the road. When you have something happening with that much serendipity, it's fate. We have to do this. That's the basic reason. Everyone thinks, is this an olive branch with GCW? No. I just happen to be literally in the same city on the same day with this idea of wanting to attack him. We worked it out. Curtain went on later. Matt went on earlier, and we put this together. Tony Khan was also asked about Ricky Stark's AEW status on Friday, and he suggested that fans keep their eyes on the upcoming Fight for the Fallen episode of AEW Dynamite. He said, and I quote, I think we'll have to stay tuned to see who's going to be part of the Fight for the Fallen simulcast. It remains to be seen. We've got a great roster here. We've got one of our best pay-per-view lineups for World's End this year. I think it's a tremendous card. Then as far as who's going to be at the mother of all simulcasts, that remains to be seen, but thanks for asking. Starks has not as of yet been announced for a match or appearance on the show. So interesting times. I will give us another percentage question, starting with you, Romeo. 0 to 100. We see Ricky Starks in AEW in 2025.
75%. Yes. I think it'll be put on that simulcast to get some buzz, even if it's
I
like
can see that.
it's not advertised, just to get some social media buzz.
I can
But
see that.
if he's wrestling, he'll be staring at the lights for sure.
I can see him showing up because of what Tony Khan said. You kind of have to. The payoff would be having Ricky show up on the show, and that will get some buzz. But yeah, I don't have any faith that it's going to lead to a big push for him. I will put it at 65%. JJ?
I'm gonna say 95%.
Mm.
I think that he believes that he's bigger than he actually is, and I don't think he's as wanted as he thinks he is. So once he kind of realizes that stuff, he's got some friends on the other side, of course, but friends is only going to get you but so far when you're a carbon copy of one of their biggest stars ever. So I'm not sure how well that's going to fly. You're going to have a whole different look, a different gimmick. But I think once all of those things kind of get realized, home is AEW, even if it's not in a big push, even if it's not in anything big, at least he'll be somewhere on TV.
Krssi?
75.
A lot of 75s there. So a lot of us expect Ricky Starks to be back on AEW TV. Someone who's been getting a lot of AEW TV time as of late is Ricochet. And it looks like he is embracing a recent change in attitude with how he interacts with fans on social media. Initially, Ricochet responded to a message on X this week that said Lamar Jackson is a problem and the MVP. Ricochet responded, like me in at AEW. Another X user chimed in, writing to Ricochet, "You took Samantha away from us, so no," referring to Ricochet's real-life girlfriend, Samantha Irvin. The former WWE Intercontinental Champion later sarcastically responded, "Who else is going to make me my sandwiches? Who's going to make my sandwiches for me when I'm hungry?" Earlier this week, he also noted, "I don't want to see anyone switching it up. If you didn't like me before, you missed your chance. No jumping back on the bandwagon now, cheese curlers." Fans have taken this as Ricochet playing up an Andrew Tate-like character. Tate is an influencer and podcast host who has gained a following of like-minded men who believe in an alpha male lifestyle, requires homophobia, racism, and sexism, and all the negative qualities you can think of.
Who is this guy?
He also has a striking resemblance to Ricochet. So I think that's also a fun fact there. He's also currently, and more importantly, being investigated for rape and human trafficking.
You know what?
So maybe Ricochet shouldn't try to do a gimmick like him. And Ricochet has gone as far as to follow Andrew Tate on Twitter.
Excuse me. Bryan Danielson, are you out there? Do you see this, Bryan Danielson? I think someone needs to hear from the discipline committee, please.
I've been loving Ricochet. I've been loving Ricochet on AEW television. This is where you're going to the line. You're going too close to the line, sir. Too close to the line. You don't need to do your gimmick on. You don't need to do your gimmick on social media. You're doing great on it on television. Don't do it on social media. You just get yourself in trouble. He's going too far into Max Caster territory.
Oh my God.
Surpassed it even.
Yeah.
We don't want. No. Please stop. Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop. Right now.
Right now.
We shall see how that go down. But yes, Ricochet has been getting cooked on social media because of this activity as of late. So some people you don't need to play your character on social media. You just don't. Don't do that, please. But we mentioned it earlier. AEW Christmas Collision took place from the Hammerstein Ballroom last Saturday. They did 635,000 viewers. The show featured Ricochet defeating Will Ospreay to earn 3 points and an excellent opener to the show, cheating to win there, while Claudio Castagnoli beat Darby Allin to earn 3 points in a splendid main event to the show in the Gold League of the AEW Continental Classic. Later in the show, you had Daniel Garcia. He picked up a win over Shelton Benjamin. Post-match, Benjamin and the Hurt Syndicate jumped Garcia until Mark Briscoe came down with the steel chair, distracting the Syndicate long enough for Swerve Strickland to stomp a pile of security and Bobby Lashley. Elsewhere in the Blue League, you had Mark Briscoe pick up a win over the Beast Mortos in a fine matchup. Thunder Rosa and AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May got into a brawl ahead of their Tijuana street fight at World's End. Chris Statlander defeated Penelope Ford in a pretty fun matchup. Post-match, Mercedes Moné accepted Statlander's challenge for a TBS title match at World's End. Big Boom AJ and Big Justice kicked off the show. They then later were going to cut a promo in the ring when none other than Chris Jericho, King of New York and the Learning Tree, in an entertaining segment interrupted them. That saw Anthony Bowens come down to back up the Costco guys and make a challenge to Jericho. And Adam Cole and MJF, they had a face-to-face promo exchange. Very good segment, hyping up their final encounter for the Dynamite Diamond Ring at World's End. MJF lowballed Cole, and the Undisputed Kingdom made the save to run off Max. Last night was the final episode of AEW Rampage with their New Year's Smash special. The show featured the Death Riders attacking Darby Allin backstage, with Claudio Castagnoli stomping a chair around his neck before Jon Moxley kicked this man down a flight of stairs. That shit was hilarious. I'm sorry. I replayed it multiple times and laughed at Darby sliding down the stairs. It was funny. This led to the Death Riders calling out anyone who had a problem with them on the roster, which brought down several members of the roster, including the 3 challengers for World's End that started a huge melee with the entire roster. The Death Riders had to cut the power to escape from the Hammerstein Ballroom. The show closed with Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir commandeering a camera, bringing it to the production truck, and them ending Rampage for good. This is finally something that involves them taking over the company. Thank you. Thank you. Just a little effort. Where was this the past fucking 2 months? Hook defeated Nick Wayne in the main event. You also had Thunder Rosa pick up a win over Layla Gray. A Private Party picked up a quick win over some jobbers. Post-match, Private Party got into a brawl with Leo Rush and Action Andretti, as well as Top Flight. And Chris Jericho picked up a win over Anthony Bowens in the opener after Matt Caster accidentally hit him with the ROH World title. So Rampage is done. Is anyone going to miss Rampage?
No.
What would you say was the greatest moment or match in Rampage history?
What?
What was the greatest moment or match in Rampage history? I tell you the greatest moment. The greatest moment is easy. It's CM Punk's return.
Right. CM Punk's return. I forgot that shit actually happened on Rampage.
Nothing's gonna stop that. Match wise, there's a couple of good options.
The best one I can remember was Christian Cage beating Kenny Omega for the TNA championship.
First episode.
Yeah. That's the only literally thing I can remember from Rampage. Everything else was a blur.
I remember that.
Refresh my memory, SP3. What was some of the top matches?
There's that match. There's the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks that happened on an episode of Rampage. The match that I remember that I think is the greatest because it had the most consequence on AEW is Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta. When Wheeler is busted open and writes BCC on his chest, and then William Regal invites him into the Blackpool Combat Club. That's probably the most impactful match in Rampage history. But yeah, those are mainly like the main ones that jump out to me just off of like thinking off the top of the head.
Wasn't there like a great women's match? Was it a women's tag?
They had a couple of the women's street fights. The one of those tag team women's street fights that were really good on Rampage.
You know, I'm proud of.
What we'll have is Collision and Dynamite. Is that correct?
For now, yeah.
I'm proud of AEW for realizing that they're wasting people's time with this show, and they killed it.
And now, what's the name is about to be 3 hours, so no one's really gonna watch it anyway. So they got out when they could.
Thank you for giving us an hour that no one ever took on their Friday nights back.
I mean, okay, well.
But now these motherfuckers are gonna take it to watch a
No one
third
ever took
hour of
the hour anyway,
SmackDown.
so.
Now they're gonna take the third hour to watch a third hour of SmackDown.
Wait, is this a normal thing or is this?
Yeah, it's for good. Next week is for good.
That hour should be the culmination of whatever the bloodline.
Yo,
story
they're
is for that
about to
week.
lose everybody on the fucking show. How the fuck are they gonna fill up a 3-hour show?
That's what Michael Cole is thinking.
They're about to lose the fucking bloodline.
Yep.
How are you gonna fill up a 3-hour show with no bloodline?
And expand the rosters.
To what? Who? To everybody from main event call them up?
Yep. Everybody from NXT getting called up to the main roster.
NXT call ups and then all that WWE ID stuff. Congrats, you're signed to NXT because we need bodies.
Ship them up
My
to the
guys
main
are about
roster
to
and then ship
so
some ID
neglected.
people.
It's about to be NXT 3.0.
We about to
A
see
whole
Cody
new
for like
era.
90 minutes a show.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be like
The
4 segments
Bloodline
of
and Judgment Day. Oh my god, they're gonna get so many backstage segments. So many.
Judgment Day sucks. Like,
Did you
But
imagine
they're gonna get the
4
segments.
Did you imagine 4 Cody segments every week?
can you imagine more Judgment Day segments every week?
We're gonna be in the Judgment Day den.
Hey, if the bloodline could turn that into some good shit, I'm for it.
I don't think the Judgment Day can turn that into some good shit. This faction has been poorly booked since the beginning. Like, we need to stop fooling around and have some serious conversations of how bad the Judgment Day really is.
Listen, the Judgment Day completely died when Damian and Rhea left. Or they
like
got
Judgment
whatever you
Day,
wanna
like
call
the booking in 2023 was like putting lipstick on a pig for Judgment Day. That was the only year they got booked well out of the 3 years they've been in existence.
Well, Finn Balor is a bad leader. He preaches loyalty and then he doesn't practice it.
Yeah, he's a terrible
I
leader
think-
because he's talking to fucking JD to tell Liv Morgan messages.
Like a little girl.
Just fucking the most childish shit I probably saw all year.
Oh my god, it's so
When
bad.
you listen to Finn, you get pinned.
Exactly. Exactly. The
Leader.
leader. Some news from AEW to wrap things up for AEW this week. Juice Robinson was originally part of the Continental Classic this year. He was forced to withdraw after suffering a broken fibia. The Wrestling Observer newsletter has more details on what the plans were for Juice in the tournament. Every match finish in the tournament was planned to mid-November to have everything necessary to get to the last 2 shows. Robinson was originally going to use the brass knuckles on Claudio Castagnoli to eliminate him. This would have added more heat to the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Riders feud. Commander, who replaced Robinson in the tournament, was simply plugged into the finish. That's why he used the weapon on Claudio on Wednesday's Dynamite. I will say that if this was the original plan for Juice and they had to place Commander in there last minute, I will say it is a kind of smart choice because it did pay off the original beatdowns that the Death Riders were doing to Commander and Private Party. So I'll give them credit for the pivot because not a lot of wrestling companies know how to pivot well lately. So I'll give them credit for that. And then you got Fightful Select had more details on the Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay matchup from Forbidden Door earlier this year. As noted, Ospreay reportedly proposed the idea to put over Strickland in the title bout at the event to put over Strickland's title reign and reinforce that Strickland wasn't being positioned as a placeholder champion. According to the new update, another matchup was reportedly considered for the pay-per-view. NJPW sources indicated that Yota Tsuji was also considered as a matchup for Swerve at the event for the AEW World title. The matchup was said to have been in the works before Ospreay's matchup was ultimately settled on. It's unknown if that plan ever made it to Tsuji, who did end up working the show during the 0 hour. He teamed up with Los Ingonables de Japón that faced the Lucha Bros and Mystico, with Mystico and the Lucha Bros picking up the win. Meanwhile, Swerve Strickland retained his title over Ospreay during the main card. I know you were critical of the whole Ospreay report from earlier this year. Do you think that Yota Tsuji would have been a better option for Swerve at the event, Romeo?
No, not that Yota Tsuji. this Yoda that's going right now, he's lining himself up with the shit he's talking about Okada. He's lining himself up for next Forbidden Door.
Oh, this is him politicking. This is him public politicking. He is public politicking to get an Okada match. I love it. I was like, that's smart. That's a guy that knows the business. You talk shit so you get the match you want. Because he didn't get and he's strategically he said it after Okada finally put over a young guy. Because that was the whole thing we talked about Okada last year and then into this year. He refused to put over any of the young guys in New Japan. And he's here in AEW less than a year. He puts over Kyle Fletcher.
I've always said that whenever Okada's done with AEW, it's lined up for him to make this grand return to New Japan, however many years it is from now. Where all the young lions have hopefully grown to respectable adult lions. I know at least Yoda going to do it. So that's going to be lined up for him. But if you want to do it sooner, you can.
True. And then finally for AEW, Dustin Rhodes has confirmed he's announced that he signed a new multi-year deal with the company. He took to Twitter to announce the news on Monday. He said, "Today I've signed a new multi-year contract with AEW. I want to thank my boss, Tony Khan, for every opportunity he has given me. Since coming here and being an original since the inception, I have truly had the time of my life. Everybody knows my story and how much I have been through in all my years, lost my passion and found it again here in AEW at the first Double or Nothing. Did not expect this one last ride to last as long as it has. And man, what a ride I have had. This last ride has lasted 5 years. That's a run. That's not a last ride.
I was gonna say something. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. That's very mean. So I'm not gonna say anything.
This nigga's on a lifetime cruise.
He's on a retirement cruise. Like, what are we doing?
I was gonna say no one really gives a shit, but you know.
Jesus.
I mean, to put it bluntly, she ain't lying. But you know, good for him that you know he's gonna be able to at least build whatever he's building and retire on, I guess, his own terms.
Hopefully soon. Ring of Honor TV to finish up the
Trying to
converse.
be nice here, y'all. Just so y'all know, trying to be respectful to a
just be a teacher or somebody that works in the back.
But,
get the women together. Do that
and I'm
shit.
Just saying, if we've been telling Chris Jericho to fucking retire for over a year now. Why the fuck aren't we keeping that exact same energy with Dustin Rhodes?
Right, that part.
I do.
Just saying. Just
the
saying.
show. ROH TV on Honor Club, the show featured Athena expelling Lexi Nair from MIT after a weak introduction at Final Battle, meaning that MIT is just her and Billy Starks now. You also had Blake Christian picked up a win over AR Fox in a pretty fun opener. Homicide made his return to Ring of Honor, teaming with Rocky Romero to pick up a win over QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Katsuyori Shibata and Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid, beat Premier Athletes, while Commander picked up a win over Johnny TV to retain the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. But that was all from the Converse this week. Over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, though, their partner, you had the road to the Tokyo Dome ahead of Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. Day 4 of Road to Tokyo Dome featured Great Okan going to a draw after a double knockout finish with Tai Chi in their King of Pro Wrestling 2024 Provisional Championship matchup. Post-match, Okan announced that he was retiring the KOPW title after a few years of the title being in existence, introducing a new title in 2025, he said, but no word on what that will be. Robbie Eagles beat Drilla Maloney, Francisco Akira, and Kevin Knight in a pretty fun 4-way matchup. TMDK's Zack Sabre Jr. and Kosei Fujita defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shoto Umino, House of Torture beat United Empire and TMDK in a tag team 3-way matchup. Post-match, El Phantasmo made his return to beat down the house and announced that he is in remission from cancer and cleared to compete at Wrestle Kingdom 19 in the NJPW World Television Championship matchup. And day 5 featured a awesome matchup. Go out of your way to see this one. Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii defeating TMDK's Zack Sabre Jr. and Roye Uyoa in a terrific main event. That Kurgan Hall crowd was just electric. And the Bullet Club War Dogs beat Los Ingonables de Japón in trios action. Final notes from New Japan Pro Wrestling as far as news. NJPW made it official that the retirement of the KOPW Championship and the New Japan Rambo will be for something new. They announced that the winner of the New Japan Rambo this year at Wrestle Kingdom will get a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Okay. Meanwhile, they made a change to one of the matches at Wrestle Kingdom. The Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship matchup at Wrestle Kingdom will now be a Tokyo Terra ladder match. NJPW announced that the match, which will see the Intergalactic Jet Setters defending the titles against CMDK's Ichiban Sweet Boys, Catch 22, and Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney of the Bullet Club War Dogs, will be the first ever ladder match in the Tokyo Dome.
Wow. Good for them.
So,
they're gonna go crazy.
Yo, that's gonna be nuts. That's supposed to, and that's gonna be like the opener to the show. How the fuck is anybody gonna follow that? But yeah, that is all from NJPW. And then final notes for TNA. Fightful Select had an update on Jordan Grace's contract status. She is expected to be up at the end of the year, but her deal has more time on it and takes her into early 2025. However, Grace agreed to a change to that deal, so she's not leaving immediately. Grace's last contracted date for TNA will be Genesis in January, which she is scheduled to face Tessa Blanchard. So, yeah. After that, she will be a free agent, and WWE is said to be interested. So she would be free. She would be free to debut at the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
Shop the rocket to her. I'm calling Jordan Grace, winner of the 2025 Royal Rumble match.
Oh, nice.
Who says no? Who says no? Who says no to that? Give me Jordan.
Fair.
Give me Jordan versus Rhea at WrestleMania. Jordan versus Rhea.
It's just
so we're gonna sign her and go her straight to the top.
Straight to the moon.
Okay.
If a certain man comes back, that ain't happening.
It's not happening, but I want to put it out there. TNA Wrestling signed a new multi-year partnership with Sportsnet in Canada and will air there starting in 2025. Dave Meltzer noted that the Sportsnet was originally in talks with AEW before the deal fell through. Instead, AEW will be airing on TSN and Canada's version of the USA Network. Meltzer added that WWE will be leaving their deal with 10 in India soon, which could see AEW or another promotion acquiring the spot. So you can see the TV rights and streaming rights deals with these wrestling companies are getting more lucrative and more frequent as time goes on. So TNA is the latest kind of winner in that. But we made it to the end of what we missed. We got match of the week, our best and worst of the week, and the final awards for our Tru Heel Heat year-end awards. Miss Krssi Love, you want to start with best and worst of the week? Who had the best week this week? Who had the worst week for you?
Worst week, SmackDown.
She put the whole show in a nutshell.
She said SmackDown. God damn.
The entire program.
Okay, well, you know.
Nobody's arguing with you. That was just funny.
No one's arguing.
Okay. Best of the week, Drew McIntyre.
That's fair for our awards, for sure. Best of the week for me, I would say it's like co-best of the week for Hammerstein Ballroom and AEW because the show.
Oh, nice. Yes.
AEW has not felt this hot in a long time. But watching the program this week, I watched a little bit of Dynamite this week with my nephew, and he was like, "You went to this?" He was like, "I would have loved to go to this." He was like, he saw the toilet paper for Ricochet. He was like, "Y'all allowed to throw toilet paper at them?" He was marking out, and he loved Darby and Ospreay. So like that, I take that's like a lapsed fan because he hasn't watched wrestling in years. That's a lapsed fan who was like watched the product and was like, "Oh, I could get into this." So I think it was a good week for AEW and Hammerstein. Worst of the week, I mean, just
just WWE taking the week off because I didn't need to watch any of WWE programming this week. They just took the week off. They took the week off for the holidays, so that's my worst of the week. It's not a bad week, but it's just boring WWE television this week.
Oh, it was a bad week. Oh, it was a bad week. Oh, it was a bad week.
JJ, your best and worst
say
of the week.
WWE instead of like just SmackDown itself?
Worst of the week was the WWE. Like
more so SmackDown than any of the other products because the other products were like.
I'll be honest with you. I was bored by NXT and I was bored by Raw as well. I was bored by all 3 shows this week.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
mean, the best thing is seeing the nuclear heat that Kofi and Xavier gets weekly now. That's the best thing. But after that,
I was like, that's the only thing that happened on Raw this week.
It's nothing memorable. Yep, nothing memorable. The best thing of the week for them was when his moms walked away from him. But,
all right, so I'm gonna stick with SmackDown and give it to my best Hammerstein.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Hammerstein.
In a gym for a long time, and people need to be at the Hammerstein. It's low key.
Hammerstein, yeah. If it didn't fall in such a shitty time of the year, I would have been in there. But they happen to always go during. They have not always because this is the first time they've been in there, but they happen to do it Christmas week, of course. Fucking scumbags. But listen, man, and he's not worst of the week because he's had a pretty good week in ring, but I gotta give an honorable mention to my boy Darby Allin, bro. When you get kicked down a flight of steps, bro,
after you've been getting killed in these C2 matches too,
every week he's been I'm like, yo, Darby, are you okay? Like something is not right.
Don't forget he got Pillmanized before he even got thrown on the stairs.
Yes,
yeah,
and that was the net. Did you see that Pillmanized? That was nasty. That wasn't like the let's stomp at the end of the chair so it goes back down. No, Claudio stomped on the actual chair that was on his neck. Like that looked nasty. My mouth was on the floor. I was like, what the? This is like a murder. They're murdering like poor Darby.
Like this man has to be taking like adrenaline shots before these fucking encounters because this is not normal. Like this is not normal. Like this is not normal behavior for somebody to just endure on a weekly basis. Like he literally gets thrown into everything. Like gets thrown into posts, thrown into stairs, thrown off of shit. I
remember the Rampage was filmed on the same night as Dynamite. So that literally they filmed that after he took a 630 senton from Ricochet on Dynamite through a table.
Blessings to that man.
Yeah, bless his heart, man. Because honestly, man, we don't know when the fuck his last match is gonna be, man. That shit could be next week. That shit could be fucking 5 years from now. Like he
right
has
before he climbs Mount Everest and dies there.
This man has the motherfucking widest. He has the widest range of outcome for any professional wrestler's career to stand.
Yes, it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Romeo, your best and worst of the week.
Best is my birthday sister, Lady Liberty herself, Chelsea Green. Let's hope 2025 is red, white, and green.
She's
beautiful
an Aries
promo.
like us. Oh,
she got the same birthday as me. Same birthday.
Really? Which is my anniversary. So great day. Yep, it's a great day.
I hope she keeps wearing that Liberty crown. I think it looks great on her. She's wearing that Liberty green.
Even though she's Canadian.
That's what makes it funnier.
I'm Canadian, so I can't lie.
And worst of the week is Garza and Humberto. My goodness. They
racial profiling. Pretty
deadly. Ratted them out incorrectly to Street Profits. Street Profits whooped their ass. And Pretty Deadly gets out scot-free. They almost get a title shot in the future, it sounded like, from DIY. So wow. Garza and Humberto got clown.
Crazy how they got clowned OD. But yes, that was the best and worst of the week. Matches of the week.
Is Josh coming back?
I don't know. Josh was not feeling well to start the show, so okay. I don't know if he's coming back or not.
If he wants to.
Oh, he's back. Right he's back. There you go. You okay?
Super chats.
Better now.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, it was just
Krssi,
like terrible. It was terrible timing. I was like, oh shit. Like I felt like I needed to take like a quick nap or something because been sick since last night. So
That
Oh
sucks.
man, sorry.
Feel better, buddy.
sorry, dude. I hope you feel better.
It's going
yeah,
around.
for
It's
sure.
going around. So.
It is. Krssi, what was your matches of the week?
Matches of the week. I got 3. I didn't watch any really. Okay. Ospreay, Ricochet, Darby, and Ricochet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then 3. Ospreay and Brody.
Ospreay and Brody. Okay. Romeo, your matches of the week.
I didn't watch much wrestling this week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I watch only AEW.
He's like, I didn't see it.
I'll say
Never seen it.
Nothing memorable from
Ospreay and Ricochet.
Yeah,
that's fair. JJ, what about you?
I'm basically in sequence with Krssi there. I saw a lot of wrestling clips and I saw those matches in particular. So any other shit happened match wise, sorry if I missed it, but apparently according to this week of wrestling, I'm not sorry I missed it.
Also fair. Josh?
This is very true.
I'm go with 3. I'm go with Okada versus Sheldon. I thought that was pretty fun. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Ospreay versus Brody, and number 1, I'm gonna go with Ospreay versus Ricochet.
Yep, I'm right there with y'all, but I watch way more wrestling than most of y'all, so I have 10. Statlander versus Penelope from Collision last Saturday. That was really fun. Much better than it had any right to be. Number 9, Briscoe versus Beast Mortos from Collision last Saturday. Number 8, Okada versus Shelton from Dynamite. Number 7, Darby versus Ricochet. Number 6, Shelton Benjamin versus Daniel Garcia. Number 5, Kyle Fletcher versus Daniel Garcia from Dynamite. Number 4, Claudio versus Darby from Collision. Number 3, Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii versus TMDK from Road to Tokyo Dome. Number 2, Ospreay versus Ricochet from Collision. And number 1, Ospreay versus Brody from Dynamite. And now it is time, without further ado, to reveal the final awards for the Tru Heel Heat year-end awards, our 8th annual year-end awards for 2024. Thus far, we have seen the 2024 heel turn of the year go to Mariah May, turning on timeless Toni Storm. We also saw Drew McIntyre win Best on the Mic. We saw Drew McIntyre win Best Individual Promo. And we saw Drew McIntyre win Best True Heel Wrestler of the Year. CM Punk was not impressed. We also had the Best Tru Heel Heat community member go to Will Chisholm. Women's Match of the Year went to Mercedes Moné and Hazuki from NJPW Strong Style Evolved. Worst Match of the Year went to Bully Ray and Raj Desi from Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling's Forged in Excellence. Best Non-Wrestler went to Paul Heyman. Breakout Star went to Oba Femi. You also had Tag Team of the Year went to Frexium, and Feud and Storyline of the Year went to Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, while Best Tru Heel Heat YouTube show went to Tru Heel Heat Flagship Podcast, even though Romeo gave his acceptance speech. Romeo from 90 Day Fiance, I mean.
Stop the count.
All right, we got Best Major Show. What was the best pay-per-view premium live event of 2024? Romeo, we'll start with you.
WrestleMania 41.
40, you mean? You put 41 on the form, by the way. You mean 40.
41 is in a few months, sir.
Yeah, 41 has not happened yet. I guess that's a prediction, not a spoiler.
He's already foreseeing the best show of the year.
JJ, what was the best major show of the year?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Mania Night 2.
No, we specified on the form.
Oh, WrestleMania then. It's WrestleMania then.
It's WrestleMania 2 nights. You gotta
listen. I didn't even see the form, so just saying. I'm just.
We know.
We know.
Hey,
Josh.
I owned up to shit completely.
Josh, what about you?
WrestleMania.
Krssi?
All In.
So coming in third place was in fact AEW All In London. Coming in second place was in fact WWE WrestleMania 40. And number one, the winner of the 2024 best major show of the year is AEW Revolution from March in North Carolina. Sting's retirement matchup against the Young Bucks. You also had Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita on that show. That show had the great Blackpool Combat Club versus FTR. Bunch of great matches up and down the card. Like that. Like I think I had that as my best major show after I watched the show, and I don't think it ever left there. I think I really loved WrestleMania. Really loved All In. I loved most of the AEW pay-per-views this year, but Revolution was special. It was special being in that building. I had to give that best major show.
Oh, you was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's awesome.
That's different.
I mean, it creates a little special feeling too. So that's justified.
And Sting is like one of my all-time favorites. Like that was like one of the first wrestlers that I became a fan
anybody that picked Revolution is justified on that, just because not only it was such a great final match, like it was really good. So justified.
Yeah. And the rest, and I based it off of, because I had like everything close, but I was like, WrestleMania, you know what stopped me from giving it best major show? It has Jay and Jimmy on it. So if you have one of the worst matches of the year,
Yeah, I was about to. Didn't Bryan Danielson win the title
at All In?
He won it All In. Okay.
Yeah, All In. But if you have one of the worst matches of the show, it should work against you. If the worst matches of the year, it should work against you. And I think that Jay and Jimmy at WrestleMania and Britt and Mercedes at All In is worse than the multi-scramble matchup at Revolution. That's their worst match. That's forgettable. We don't forget how bad Jay and Jimmy and Britt and Mercedes was. So that's why I couldn't give them.
I think at that point of 1 and 2, I think it's just a matter of nitpicking of what items you think kind of like held it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true. Next, we got best promotion of the year. We'll start with you, JJ.
I don't think I've said this in years. I got to go with the WWE. I think the WWE was they was on their game this year, and this is the first time I think in like 5-6 years I said this just flat out. I think WWE was a better promotion this year, and I ain't mad to say it, because they finally fucking seem to get their shit together and have a quality year. So, I go there.
Josh?
Go with WWE.
Romeo?
Yeah, it's not even close. This is a
Why did you even ask him?
It's a massacre.
Why did you even ask him? He said WWE was the best year in 2017.
Yeah,
I mean, they were the only company in 2017, so justified. So, just saying.
This is true. Krssi.
But I'm gonna say AEW. They had the better pay-per-views.
I gave it to WWE as well. So with 55% of the vote,
WWE.
It is WWE, the promotion of the year, no question. Business-wise, quality-wise, WWE was on the up in 2020.
Yeah, they was on their game, man. They was on their game. Can't deny it.
It's pretty awkward seeing Paul walk past Tony right there.
You know,
Back to back awards.
back to back. That's why I did it that way. All right. Next, we got Match of the Year, one of the most prestigious awards of any award show in wrestling. The Match of the Year. We will start with Romeo.
This is so difficult.
It's not. It's Roman versus Cody. No match. It's one of the greatest matches ever. It's one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever. No match will make you feel.
King
This guy.
bro.
This fucking
nigga
guy.
King Cap, bro. Oh,
This
That was
fucking
Cap.
guy.
That was OG Cap.
No match will make you feel
I don't
what
give
that
a
match
fuck.
made us feel.
This nigga is
No match.
King Cap, yo.
Cody finishing the story.
King Capio.
Cody finishing the story. Like Ospreay Danielson, like, okay. Ospreay had like 8 of those matches this year. Okay. Great match.
I just asked
Great
you
match.
what's your match of the year.
Great
I
match.
didn't ask you to start shitting on other matches.
He's
What's your
shitting.
match of the year? You answered Cody and Roman. People laughed. Let's move on. Krssi.
I'm gonna say
Ridiculous.
Ospreay and Swerve.
I'm sorry, I can't. TJ.
What happened?
I'm still laughing at his answer.
Oh.
All I asked
Oh.
him was, "What's your match of the year?" And he had just had to go off the deep end. He just had to go off.
Talk about
I ain't gonna.
He had to defend his answer, so he had to do that.
This is gonna be probably an off match, but it's probably. But I haven't. This is one of the damnedest things I've ever seen. Was Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher.
Full gear.
That was one of the damnedest things I've ever seen.
Josh.
Ospreay versus Danielson.
So what we got here, third place, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland from AEW All in London.
Another great one. Yeah.
2, the aforementioned Romeo's Choice, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes from WrestleMania 40. And number 1 with I believe this is 40% of the vote. It is in fact Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay from AEW Dynasty.
Amazing.
Amazing match. It's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life.
I just wanted to say something different because this man has had such a fucking year. He's had such a fucking year. Like Jesus.
5-star matches all around.
Yeah. Like we named 3 different with our answers. We named 3 different Ospreay matches, and all of them got 5 stars. And they're all different. They're all different because the Fletcher match is him doing a complete star-making job with a younger wrestler. The Swerve match is just an epic, big moves, big moments type of matchup. And then the him and Danielson is someone who is the master of in-ring technician versus the best hybrid wrestler that's ever stepped foot in the square circle. And it's Bryan feeling like he's so much more of a better wrestler, but then realizing slowly but surely throughout the duration of the match that this dude, Will Ospreay, is different. Like I can't do everything that I would do to beat everybody else. I can't beat him with this.
He's undeniable. He checks every type of wrestling box there is.
Great match. It wasn't Cody Roman.
But
yeah, it was better.
Cody and Roman had the best climatic, and
it had the most WrestleMania match. It had the most entertainment match ever.
Yeah,
it's not the best wrestling match. It's the best sports entertainment match of the year.
Still great. It was great.
Still great. But
great, yeah.
But if you want to be correct, if you wanted to go on a rant and be like, hey. You could have went on a rant, Romeo, and been like, I care more about sports entertainment. Sports entertainment is what makes wrestling, that drives the emotion, that makes us feel things. This is the best example of sports entertainment. That's why it's the best match of the year. Instead of trying to make opinions sound like facts, because that's what you tried to do, and that's what made it hilarious. That's what I will say. That's what made it hilarious. That's what made it hilarious, because you really tried to say your opinion like it was a factual statement. That's what made it hilarious.
That's what I tried to say before I was interrupted with laughter.
It's like a little.
Love you guys too.
made this show. You made this show right here. Then we got our final 2 awards, the biggest awards of the night. Women's Wrestler of the Year. First up, Krssi Love, your Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Rhea Ripley.
Romeo.
The person that owned Rhea Ripley all year, Liv Morgan.
JJ.
It's difficult because Rhea has such a great start, tailed off. I'm gonna stick to Rhea Ripley. I'm gonna stick to it. She had a really like cliff fall at the end of the year, but such a strong start.
Josh.
Timeless Tony.
Good choice.
So how these votes panned out, coming in third place. This was this was our most voted on topic, actually. 210 votes that we got for this one. Okay. So with 37 of the 210 votes, the current NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, coming in second place with 69. Nice. 69 of the 210 votes, Rhea Ripley. And coming in number 1 with 82 of this 210 votes, it is Timeless Toni Storm. This is appropriate. Award show and a timeless one, accepting the award. Yes, Timeless Toni Storm. What a year she had. And really, like, I think that like with the difference with with AEW, I think with AEW and WWE, the reason that Rhea and Toni are 1 and 2 is because you saw how important they were to their women's division when they left.
Yep.
According to Toni Storm, this is not even a real person that got the number 1
Yeah,
vote.
she still didn't come back. Timeless Toni Storm didn't come back yet.
I don't know. That person's gone.
She's not here.
I'm gonna get emotional.
I obviously didn't vote enough from all my burner accounts for Liv Morgan to not even be top 3. What is wrong with you people? Are you kidding me?
Romeo.
Because Liv Morgan, because Liv, she sucks. Like, let's just accept the fact that she sucks.
No one dominated.
She
more
fucking sucks.
No one
she
dominated
sucks.
more.
She sucks.
I would have voted Mercedes Moné over her.
You got punished in the voting for dominating your competition. Ain't that crazy?
Romeo
that wasn't dominating. That wasn't fucking dominating.
Romeo was Jinder Mahal Men's Wrestler of the Year in 2017? Because he dominated. He dominated WWE television.
150 days.
Yep. He dominated WWE television. I just want to know if you were keeping the same energy.
Crown Jewel champion also.
Wow. That's not answering my question. I asked you a simple question. Did Jinder win
one of the worst matches of the year?
No. The reason why I'm asking this, Josh, that's why I want him to answer. The reason why I'm asking is because this is a spoiler alert for one of our lists. Liv Morgan has more worst matches of the year on our list than anyone else.
I mean, it's not surprising. He just needs to accept it. She's trash. Like, you can still like trash. Like, there's no problem liking trash. That's all I'm saying.
And me personally, I don't think Liv is trash. I think that her booking has been trash.
Yeah, that's fair.
Josh hates Liv Morgan. Hates her.
That's what he's tweeting that right now.
With a passion.
I'm on this show and Josh is hating on Liv Morgan. Final award for 2024 year-end awards.
You said send?
Ooh. Yo, what's that? Yo, was that LeBron meme? Where he's like this? Like that. That's how I feel about that.
It just attacked him with a tweet.
We got here. Now we got the Men's Wrestler of the Year, our final award for this show. Krssi, your Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Will Ospreay. Hello.
You just fanned yourself. Romeo, Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Cody Rhodes.
Or JJ.
You really are. Mark,
It's two different tales, but just wrestler of the year is Will Ospreay, absolutely. Cody Rhodes is sports entertainer of the year.
That's also fair. Josh?
Will Ospreay.
And I voted for Cody Rhodes. So
did you
got
really?
the fight? Yeah, I did.
It's a tale of two sides.
You've come a long way, SP3. You and Cody's rivalry, it's come a long way.
No, it's because I'm actually unbiased, unlike the guy who tells me.
You saw him slip up
unbiased
there.
every
He
Tuesday.
said biased. You saw him slip up.
Hey, I can say I'm biased, but I'm showing I'm unbiased with my voting pattern. Who did, unlike the guy who had nothing but WWE for all of his year-end awards.
That isn't
I don't think
true.
I didn't see that. But men's
One AEW thing for the whole year.
Not even one. Not even women's wrestler of the year. He gave that to Liv.
You're incorrect. I gave
Like
women's
literally.
She wasn't in the top three. He wasted a vote. Wasted a vote.
Match
She
of the
wasn't
year
in
to
the top
AEW.
3.
Oh, so 1 out of the 14 awards you gave to AEW. That's unbiased.
AEW had a terrible year.
That's so much. That's so much better.
That's unbiased. But I think the AEW had a bad year creatively, not wrestling wise. Wrestling wise, they put on some of the best matches of the year. That's what I'm saying. Matches wise, pay-per-view wise, AEW should be in your running for some of these awards. Anything creatively, I gave it to WWE. Trust me.
Here's the standard with awards. AEW is always going to have great matches. Always great matches. But wrestling, these awards are more than just having great matches. They're more than that.
Yes.
There's more to it.
I agree.
That's why there's multiple flavors in wrestling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
People love to be entertained. People love seeing great in-ring work. It's never going to change.
Exactly. But men's wrestler of the year coming in third with out of 97 votes, he got 18 of them. Will Ospreay. Last year's 2023 wrestler
came
of
in
the year.
third.
Came in third. Coming in second with 33 of the 97 votes. Swerve Strickland coming in at number 2.
Fair. Bet on black. All right.
And number 1, like I said, Swerve had 33. Number 1 with 34 votes out of the 97.
Oh, I was the tiebreaker.
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
He was the tiebreaker.
My honor.
Oh, wait. We can't cut off the award feed. We have a disturbance on the stage. Oh shit! Oh damn! What is he doing here? What? Why doesn't he have a shirt on? What is he doing?
He has fell off.
What am I seeing?
He has fell off.
Kevin Owens stole the award just like he stole the winged eagle.
Kevin Owens nipples.
Yeah, I guess he lost his shirt on the way. The guy who never loses his shirt lost his shirt in that picture.
Apparently so. But thank you to everyone who voted on the Tru Heel Heat year-end awards. I am sure we're going to do this again next year. So I appreciate all of you who voted on it. And we appreciate y'all for that. But we're going to close off this episode and close off the flagship podcast for 2024 with a rapid fire final predictions for the big shows coming up tonight and later next week. We will be back with you next Sunday, January 5th, for the first edition of Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast of 2025. So we won't be able to give final predictions for Wrestle Kingdom or Wrestle Dynasty. So we're going to do it here. We got the Wrestle Dynasty card. It's been made up. So we'll do rapid fire predictions for that first. So we're going in reverse order with the shows. Wrestle Dynasty, you got the International Women's Cup 4-way matchup. The winner gets a shot at any title of their choosing. It's going to be CMLL's Pernifery versus Stardom's Momo Watanabe versus AEW's Willow Nightingale versus ROH Women's World Champion Athena. JJ, who you got?
Oh, Athena.
Josh?
I got Willow.
Romeo?
Whoever's from Stardom.
Krssi?
Persephone is her name.
Y'all just picking any names, you and Romeo. I'm going with Athena.
He already has a belt. Like, why would you make her win? That's stupid.
I mean, because I need a way for Athena to get to AEW, and this is my way. For the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship, it's going to be the It's going to be the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defending against the House of Torture, Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Yo, aka the match that I'm going to be using the bathroom and getting my snacks. Romeo.
Dustin and Sammy. Oh, so this is where Sammy is. Yeah, them.
Krssi.
As much as it pains me to say this, but yeah, the two guys from AEW.
Damn.
JJ.
Damn, Dustin's finding a way to still be important. Dustin and Sammy. That's crazy.
Josh.
Dustin and Sammy.
We got a Lucha Gauntlet. It's going to feature stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL. We don't know the participants as of yet, so we don't give predictions for that one.
Oh, I can't predict vignette number 5. No.
Vignette number 5.
Pick the second guy on the bottom right.
I feel like I'm looking at one of Romeo's old New Japan graphics he used to make. Like,
yes.
Don't
you remember stick figures? Oh my god, bring the stick figures back.
Then we got one of the more anticipated matches on this card. Mercedes Moné defends the NJPW Strong Women's Championship in a double title match against Rev Pro Undisputed Women's Champion Mina Shirakawa. Romeo, who you got?
Mercedes.
Krssi?
Mercedes.
Josh?
I got Mercedes.
JJ?
Mercedes.
Unanimous, Mercedes. Then we got, this might be for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships, as the Young Bucks will make their return to in-ring competition. Matthew and Nicholas facing the Great Okan and a mystery partner of his choosing. I will say the mystery partner is Will Ospreay, and the United Empire wins. Krssi? Who you got?
Okay, Will Ospreay, friend. Yeah, I imagine the card anyways. Yeah.
Romeo?
I can't in good faith take Great Okan and some mystery guy, even if you say it's Ospreay. I'm going with the Young Bucks.
That's fair. Josh?
I'm going with the Young Bucks.
JJ?
Yeah, I wouldn't even pick Great Okan if he had fucking Super Cena. Young Bucks.
Then we got one of the most anticipated matches on the card, as well as Tomohiro Ishii will either face Shingo Takagi or Konosuke Takeshita for the Never Openweight Championship. We'll wait till we get to the Wrestle Kingdom card and we'll predict both of those matches. Then you got Yota Tsuji going one-on-one with Jack Perry. I got Tsuji. Krssi?
Tsuji.
Romeo?
Yeah, what a mismatch. Tsuji.
JJ?
Tsuji's gonna kill this guy.
Josh?
Tsuji.
Then we got David Finlay going one-on-one with the House of Black's Brody King. I'm going with David Finlay here. JJ?
David Finlay.
Krssi?
Brody King.
Josh?
David Finlay.
Romeo?
Yep, Finlay.
And we got another special singles match, as it's going to be Shota Umino going one-on-one with the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio being sent here by John Moxley, who wants to teach his old young boy a lesson. Romeo?
Shota, he's going through all these guys.
Krssi?
Claudio.
Josh?
I got Shota.
JJ?
Claudio.
The Shooter I am going with. Then you got, this will probably be for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. going one-on-one with Ricochet. I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr. here. Romeo?
Absolutely. Agreed.
JJ?
Zack Sabre.
Krssi?
Zack Sabre.
Josh?
Zack Sabre.
And then finally, it is the return of the cleaner. Kenny Omega goes one-on-one with Gabe Kidd. This should be absolutely phenomenal. I'm going with Kenny Omega, though. Krssi?
Omega.
Romeo?
Omega.
Josh?
Omega.
JJ?
Omega. Omega, of course.
1000% Omega. Then you got Wrestle Kingdom 19 coming up on January 4th, next Saturday. You got the New Japan Rambo, which will determine the number one contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Then you got the Tokyo Terra ladder match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. The Intergalactic Jet Setters defend against TMDK, Catch 22, and the Bullet Club War Dogs. Krssi, who you got?
Mm,
Do you need me to say the names again?
nope, I see the names on the board. Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. Kushida and Kevin Knight.
Romeo?
War Dogs.
JJ?
I will vote for Kevin Knight until he wins a big match. Kevin Knight and Kushida.
Josh?
TMDK.
I'm going with TMDK as well. Kosei Fujita, he's the future of the juniors. Then you got, this should be spectacular if it gets time, Mayu Iwatani defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Azumi. I think it's Azumi's time. Azumi, new champion. Romeo?
I'll agree.
Josh?
We have a new champion for this match.
Ooh.
Krssi?
I was going to say champ retains.
JJ?
Zumi.
Then we got a four-way match to determine the NJPW World Television Champion. It's going to be Ren Narita defending against El Phantasmo, Roye Uyawa, and Jeff Cobb. They better reward ELP for coming back from cancer to win this damn title in the Tokyo Dome. Krssi?
That's the one with the big poppy eyes?
The one, the one second from the right.
The one that looks like
Logan
Logan Paul.
Yeah, the one with the poppy.
Yeah, that's the one with poppy eyes. Thank you. Okay, him. The one that that gets in remission.
Romeo?
Yep. You better get awarded for that.
JJ?
He's the only choice.
Josh?
Same.
Hiroshi Tanahashi puts his career on the line, one-on-one with Evil Tanahashi.
Oh, his career safe.
Is that unanimous? Is everybody going with Tanahashi here?
This guy retires Tanahashi. Wow, the heat. Oh my goodness.
It would be
It's not happening.
Nuclear. Then we got for the Never Openweight Championship and AEW International Championship, title for title. This should be an early match of the year candidate. Konosuke Takeshita, one-on-one with Shingo Takagi. I'm going with Takeshita. 2-belt Takeshita.
Takeshita, yep.
Romeo?
Sorry.
Agreed.
No, you're good. You're good. Who you got?
Agreed.
Josh?
I'm going with Konosuke.
JJ?
Konosuke!
All right, since it's unanimous, it's going to be Konosuke Takeshita versus Tomohiro Ishii for the Never title on January 5th. I'm still going with Takeshita.
Still going with
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with Konosuke. Ishii don't win.
I saw that image of like he's losing to both guys.
Then for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, El Desperado challenges the champion Doki. Who you got, Krssi?
Doki.
Romeo?
Desperado.
Josh?
I got Doki.
JJ?
Doki! Dookie!
Yeah, I'm thinking the right choice is probably Doki retains. I'm going with Doki. Then for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Yota Tsuji challenges David Finlay, new champion. I'm going with Yota Tsuji. Krssi?
Finlay.
Romeo?
It's Wrestle Kingdom. Always go with the Japanese guys. Yota Tsuji.
Josh?
It's Tsuji. It's kind of racist.
JJ? JJ?
Gonna go with Tsuji, yeah.
Should we mention what you said, Josh? We're talking about racist. Huh? Should we mention what you said about Yoda Tsuji, huh?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
He said he looks like Steve Aoki.
He does. Look at him.
He does look like him. The DJ guy, right?
A special singles match is going to be Tetsuya Naito versus his Los Ingobernables de Japón protege, Hiromu Takahashi. Give me Hiromu for the win, but it ain't happening. Naito wins. Romeo.
Didn't Naito just have like eye surgery?
Yeah.
That's a good cover to lose here.
Very fitting.
Takahashi.
Very fitting.
Chrissy.
Hiromu.
Josh.
I'm gonna go with Takahashi.
JJ.
I'm gonna go with Naito.
And then finally, the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 19 will be Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Shota Umino. Romeo.
This is tough. Zack Sabre Jr. But no, I gotta go with my Japanese theory. Shota Umino.
Shota Umino, he could win it. He could win it. Krssi.
Junior.
Josh.
I got Zack retaining.
JJ.
Zack.
I'm going with Shota Umino to win the world title. Let's fucking go. Turn heel in the process. Biggest heel in Japan. And then finally,
feud with Mox for the title.
It's not important. Then you got World's End tonight live on pay-per-view. The 0 hour, you will see 8-man tag team action. The Outrunners in Top Flight versus Lio Rush, Action Andretti, and the Murder Machines. Krssi.
Lio Rush, Murder Machines, Action Andretti.
Josh.
I'm going with the same.
JJ.
I'm gonna go with Outriders and Top Flight.
Romeo.
Outrunners, Top Flight.
I'm going with Rush, Andretti, and the Murder Machines. Then you got Jeff Jarrett going one-on-one with QT Marshall. Double J for the win. Ain't he great, Romeo?
My guy, QT Marshall.
Krssi.
Jeff Jarrett. This is stupid.
JJ.
No contest.
Josh.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Jarrett.
Then you got upstart rookie Tony Storm on the 0 hour. First time appearance on an AEW pay-per-view 0 hour. Tony Storm, rookie of the year, will go one-on-one with Layla Gray. Layla Gray has a lot more experience, so she will have an advantage in this one. JJ, who you got?
I got a lot of faith in this rookie. I see a lot of potential in Tony Storm. I'm going with the rock star.
Krssi?
Tony.
Romeo?
Didn't Layla Gray just lose last night? Tony Storm.
but she's facing a rookie this time. Josh?
Go with Tony Storm, yo. Like you said, I actually like this rookie. Kind of reminds me of Jason Dominguez.
Got a lot of potential.
Lots of potential.
Then you got Konosuke Takeshita defending the AEW International Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm going with Takeshita. Krssi?
Yeah. Poor Hobbs is going to have to lose to Takeshita.
Romeo?
I feel like I've picked Takeshita 5 times already, but yeah.
Josh?
Konosuke.
JJ?
Yeah, that Konosuke guy is pretty damn good. So yeah,
he's gonna have a hell of a week. He's got a hell of a week on his books right now.
Whole parlay riding on him.
Then we got Mercedes Moné defending the TBS Championship against Chris Statlander in the rematch from Full Gear. I'm going with Statlander, new champion. Krssi?
Ooh. I'm going Monet. I don't see her losing yet.
Romeo?
Mercedes.
Josh?
I'm going to go with Statlander.
JJ?
I think they're going to get a trilogy out of this, so I'm going to go with Chris.
And in a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's World Championship, Mariah May defends against Thunder Rosa. Krssi?
Is the title on the line?
Yeah.
Yep.
May is winning. Sorry, Thunder.
Romeo,
Mariah.
Josh,
Mariah retains.
JJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mariah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Mariah May retains. We love you, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Steal the show
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Dynamite Diamond Ring
Oh
on
my
the
God.
line. MJF defends against Adam Cole, baby. Krssi.
I hate that these guys are in this predicament now. Like, this is going sour. This is terrible.
Romeo.
But MJF.
Romeo.
I think Cole's gonna win, but MJF should win.
Josh.
I'm gonna lean with Adam Cole.
JJ.
I'm gonna go with MJF to put this child in his place.
Yeah, I'm going with MJF. MJF for the win. He has the higher ceiling after this awful feud. So MJF. Then for the AEW World Championship in a 4-way matchup is going to be John Moxley defending against Hangman Adam Page, Orange Cassidy, and Switchblade Jay White. Who you got, Krssi Love?
Oh, I would love to see Jay White win, but I think it's going to stay on Moxley.
Romeo.
The insanely overpowered John Moxley. Please end this run. Please.
Josh.
Moxley retains.
JJ.
Yeah, we are really on like a super Mox run right now. So yeah, Mox retains.
Mox retains 100%, but this should not main event the show. If you have any chance that there's going to be two Will Ospreay matches, you gotta have one of them main event the show. So the AEW Continental Classic semifinals, who you got? Okada versus Ricochet. Krssi.
I got Okada.
JJ.
Oh, it pains me to say this, but fucking Ricochet.
Josh.
I got Okada winning.
Romeo.
Okada. And yeah, I agree. Plus, it gives them more rest in between their matches if they main event.
Yes, I'm going with Okada as well. You can't
Okay,
hype
thank
him up
God.
as
All right.
as the greatest. You can't hype him as the greatest tournament wrestler and not have him make it to the finals. Then you got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, the rematch from Full Gear. JJ.
Ospreay takes this one.
Romeo.
Ospreay.
Krssi.
Ospreay.
Josh.
Ospreay.
Ospreay unanimous. So most of us got Okada versus Ospreay in the finals. JJ, you got Ricochet versus Ospreay in the finals. Who you got to win the Continental Classic?
Ospreay.
Romeo.
Okada.
Krssi.
Ospreay.
Josh.
Okada.
I'm the deciding factor here. Damn. I'm gonna go with Ospreay. Ospreay. We got to keep Ospreay busy and away from this damn world title. So give him another title to keep him busy.
I need him to go straight to the world title.
I know. I do too. But I feel like they're gonna give him something else to waste his time so he get away from the world title because he doesn't want to win it yet.
I'm just so nervous with this push that they're giving Ricochet, man. I'm just nervous about this. He's getting a push. They are pushing this cat, bro.
But they're not pushing him. I don't think they're pushing him to get like the big push to go to the
He
finals.
He led the fucking group he was in. Like,
it's true. This is true.
Just saying.
But we shall see tonight. Join us live here on the channel at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Romeo.
8. Start at 8. That pre-show is not too inviting. 8.
Well, let everybody know where they can follow you and when they can join you live here tonight, Romeo.
Romeo Damas, all social media. Join us at 8 p.m. World's End. Watch along. Rated Raw review on Tuesday. Reviewing the final Raw before Netflix.
Krssi, let everybody know where they can follow you.
Okay, guys. So follow me, Krssi Love _1, Tru Heel Krssi Love on X, and then it's just my plain name. See you all on New Year's for our video of the year for female wrestlers of the year with SP3 and myself. Thanks.
Josh, let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me, JamPunk321, Twitter and Instagram.
There you go. And Justin, or JJ, excuse me, said your shoot name. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Tru Heel _ Top Guy JJ on Instagram. And next week, I'll be here for Tru Heel Heat. So next week, I'll be here for that too. It's on Sunday now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I should be able to make that.
There we go.
So on Sunday next week?
Yes, because Wrestle Kingdom is next Saturday. Wrestle Kingdom's next Saturday. Yeah. But join us live next Sunday. We'll be live. That's the night after Wrestle Dynasty. So we'll be discussing Wrestle Dynasty, discussing Wrestle Kingdom, discussing AEW Worlds End. We'll also be discussing the mother of all simulcast for AEW, their premiere on Max on January 1st. So a lot for a discuss. Stay tuned here to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. We got our year-end list, our top 10 list for the worst matches, Women's Wrestler of the Year, Best Match of the Year, Best Major Show of the Year. Be on the lookout for all of that. Check out our WWE tier lists that are up for the men's and the women's roster. And like Romeo said, join us live tonight for our World's End watch party. Very well done. Very well done, Romeo.
I love it.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3, and I will be back live here tomorrow for our AEW World's End review. But for Miss Krssi Love, for Romeo, for Top Guy JJ, for the True Jaw Josh, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 309 with our 2024 Tru Heel Heat year-end awards. Thank you, everyone who voted and contributed. We are signing off until next time.
Later.